Hey everybody, tonight we're debating flat Earth versus globe Earth, and we are starting right now with our globe Earth side and their opening statement. Thanks so much, Tom, Jump, and Sybil, for being with us. The floor is all yours.
All right. I'm Sybil Sanity. I am definitely not a globe Earth expert. So I have no background in physics, astronomy, or natural science, or anything other than the college basics. There are, however, some things that don't really make sense to me for me in a flat Earth worldview, and some things that I've seen myself. Why you can see farther when you're higher up, why you can take flights that circumnavigate the globe, what about Foucault's pendulum or constellations that spin in different directions in different hemispheres? Any number of things. So basically, I've come here kind of as an open book, and I will hope that my flat earth interlocutors would like to convince me, teach me about your side, make me see what it is that I'm missing over here and how your worldview explains things better. Go ahead, Tom.
Sure. So yeah, we've been to space. We can literally see the planet and see it is round and globe shaped. And we can verify this in many different ways. We can reflect light and sound and radio waves off of the moon to know how far away it is. We can shoot rockets and spaceships into space. We can see them. We can see the International Space Station with a powerful enough telescope. You can see it there. You can build satellites and bounce things off them, send signals to different locations from the satellites, and count how long it takes for the signals to go from one point to another, to know how far away it is, to know what size it is. You can use radio waves to bounce signals off of the atmosphere to know the shape of the atmosphere and how far away it is. We can measure all of the different aspects of the shape of the Earth. So it's completely ridiculous to think the world is flat. It can't be unless we're all in the matrix and it's just all an illusion. It's not possible for the flat Earth to account for all of the data without some mass delusion hypothesis. All of the evidence, including the fact that we can literally see it, shows the world is in fact a globe, and we've known this for about 1,000 years or so. I'll conclude there.
Thank you very much. From our globe Earth side, we're going to kick it over to the flat Earth side. But first, want to let you know, folks, if it's your first time here, consider hitting that subscribe button for more juicy debates coming up in the future. For example, next week, a 2-on-2 debate on whether or not Bigfoot exists. You don't want to miss it, so do hit that subscribe button and that notification bell as well. Thanks so much, FlatterDay Saint and Jackie, for being with us. The floor is all yours.
Thank you. And I'm standing on the floor I'm standing on actually looks curved. So for a second, I thought it was on a globe. But okay, so to kick it off, the noun for level, a horizontal plane or line with respect to the distance above or below a given point. The adjective, having a flat or even surface without slopes or bumps. The verb, give a flat and even surface to. And I just wanted to give shots out to McToon, who in 2021, I quote, he says level means curve. So shouts out to McToon, level means curved. All right, so to kick it off, I heard, well, there we go. So I heard, let me just bump on a couple things TJump said. So TJump said, we've been to space. So I don't know if he's talking to me personally, I've never been to space. Have you been to space, TJump? Don't answer that right now. You can jump about that later. He also said we've reflected light off of the moon. I've never reflected light off the moon. TJump, rhetorical question. Have you reflected light off the moon? I don't think you have. If you have, I'll hear about it later. Have you personally seen the ISS, TJump? Have you built satellites, TJump? Or are you just repeating what you've heard? Now, somebody in my comment section earlier, they said, they were answering a question. I said, why are we even having this debate? It's ridiculous. So many things to prove the Earth is flat. And somebody goes, they were trying to clown and they go, because the Earth looks flat. And then they put like a funny face. So even globers admit that the Earth looks flat. And it does. When I could take a ruler, hold the ruler up, and look in every single direction as far as I can see from east to west along the ocean, and it's flat. Horizon means horizontal. TJump said that they send satellites up into space. Why do they send satellites up into space? Peep my channel. I went to Fake X down in Hawthorne, and I exposed some of their fake satellite globes that were just out next to dumpsters. Employees were walking around with beer in their hands. None of them could answer the question of how you can have the vacuum of space next to a pressure system on Earth without a solid container or physical barrier. 99% of internet connection comes from undersea cable. So are we as taxpayers spending around $51 million a day for them to send up satellites for that, just that 1% of internet? It's funny because that 1% of internet's kind of clipped off by the Google Loon project. Research Google Loon, that's LOON. Jackie, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So I basically back everything up he said. He kind of stole my words, actually. I was going to say, you know, TJump, you kept saying, we've done this, we've done that, but I really don't think that you have. I know I haven't. So, and yeah, and also, our eyes, they say we can see infinitely into space, but we can't see that far when we're on land. Even if we're on a high mountain, we still can't see. I know there's refraction and all this, you know, particles in the air and whatnot, but still our eyes can't even really see infinitely. That's another thing. But it's kind of amazing that they say we can see infinitely, but then we can't see because the curvature of the Earth. It's like perfect. So which one is it? We can't see because of the curvature. We can't see really that far. But I know that the aperture in our eyes is small. We can't see infinitely. So, but I don't know what that has to do with flat Earth, but I'm just saying that I'm kind of putting that into where like NASA's lying about how just, yeah. I'm done for now.
Thank you very much. And we will jump into open conversation. Folks, want to let you know that our guests are linked in the description. We really do appreciate our guests. And so you can hear or read more from all of our guests by clicking on those links in the description. And that includes if you are listening via podcast, as we are very excited, folks, that Modern Day Debate is available on podcast. And if you haven't checked it out yet, please do check it out. And if you're listening to this debate via podcast, you can find our guest links in the description there as well. So with that, we're going to kick it over to open discussion. The floor is all yours.
So you guys don't believe in space, right?
I mean, I believe in space, like when your girlfriend's mad at you and you need to give her some space. But as far
outer
as
space.
what NASA says, no, I believe that there's a firmament over us and all the stars are set in their fixed locations.
And the moon is inside the firmament, I'm guessing?
I believe so, since I've actually videotaped the moon with a P1000 and I've seen lunar waves multiple times.
So it's not very far away then. It's not like NASA says it's 240,000 miles away. You're saying it's not that far away?
Yeah, so let's just touch on that for a second. So NASA says it's, you know, The Shining, 237,000 miles away, room 237. So NASA says it's between 237 and you said 240,000 miles away?
Yeah, it's about 238.5, but
interesting. Is that all the time or does it change?
Yeah, it changes because it's revolving around the Earth. So it's
okay. So what would be it would be from what to what then, TJump?
Just about 240. That's good enough. Like
that's good enough.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. A couple thousand miles, give or take. It doesn't matter.
Not really. I mean, it's moving at 2,000 miles an hour. It's not that big of a deal. Like
so
if you're standing
at 2,000 miles per hour, but the ISS is supposedly moving at 17,900 miles per hour, which is 25 times faster than a speeding bullet. Is that correct?
Yeah, compared to the Earth. So we're measuring its speed revolving around the Earth. This moon's not revolving as fast because it's much bigger, so it's not as affected by the gravity in the same way. Smaller objects can go faster and closer to the center of mass. Yes, they're faster.
So smaller objects go faster, but the sun, which they say, I don't know how much times bigger than the Earth, is moving 60,000 times faster than the Earth?
Relative to the galaxy.
Well, no, relative to reality, bro.
So relativity is this thing where speed is measured by your frame of reference. So, but I'd still like an answer to my question about the moon. So how far away do you think the moon is?
Well, that I was asking you how far away do I think it is?
Yeah, like from your world.
That would just be my opinion, and I couldn't prove that. So
That's fine.
I'll keep my opinion. I'll keep my opinion to the side. But since you guys are making the claim that the Earth is a cartoon spinning ball brought to you by Jesuit priests, what you guys actually have the burden of proof.
Okay, so I say I can prove the moon is 240,000 miles away. You think it's not that, right? You think that's way too far, correct?
Yeah. So the thing is, that's why I asked you. You said the moon isn't always 240,000 miles away, right?
Yeah, it's about approximately. So it makes no difference. So you think it's not anywhere near that, right? You think it's a lot closer than that.
Yeah, but I'm also gonna let's just say devil's advocate. Let's say what you say is correct, right? I'm also gonna chip away and break open what you say, because when the moon rises and when it sets, it's 4 times larger and 4 times less bright, bro. So I can take a flashlight in a room, shine the light far away. The beam of light is further away, right? The beam of light is going to project a bigger beam, not as bright. The closer I get the beam to me, the brighter and smaller it's going to become. That's what we see every day with the sun and the moon.
Yeah, a mirror is brighter if you point it directly adjacent to the light source. Like if you have a flashlight, if you point the mirror directly at the flashlight and it's brighter than if you tilt it a little bit. Wow, surprising.
Surprising. So you're admitting that there's a mirror above us, like a dome, right?
The moon is the mirror. The light is reflecting off of the surface of the moon.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So moonlight's actually colder than sunlight. Moonlight, I don't know if you ever for $36 you can go down to Home Depot, buy a thermal laser thermometer, take the temperature of the same surface in the moonlight as you do in the shade of the moonlight, and it's about 2 degrees warmer in the shade of the moonlight. I mean, have you ever done that experiment?
I have no idea what you're talking about, but you still haven't answered my question. So you think the moon is not 240,000 miles away? You think it's about how far? I don't care the exact numbers. I'm just asking your opinion here. It doesn't matter what the exact numbers are.
I think it does. It matters a lot what the exact numbers are, but I'm
say telling you it's not. So how far away do you think the moon is? Is it anywhere near what the scientists say, or is it nowhere near what the scientists say?
It's nowhere near what the scientists say.
That's all I needed. So, do you know what radar is?
Yeah.
Can we measure radar here on Earth? Can you, each one of us, we can build a radar kit and measure distances, sizes, shape, speed by using radar, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Super. It's not super expensive to build radar. They did it in 1950s.
Yeah, they did it in '69 with the moon landing, right?
I'm not what I'm talking about here. So can we bounce radar off of the moon? Can we bounce radio waves off of the moon?
You're asking if we mean you could? Me personally, no. I know I couldn't do it just because I live in reality.
So we can actually. We actually can build home kits of radar that are powerful enough to bounce radio signals off the moon. And so, what?
Nothing.
Okay, so we can literally build these. They're not expensive. They cost less than 10 grand. 4 grand is you can build a good one for 4 grand. Totally possible for any human being in a first world country to build radar that can bounce signals off of the moon.
Did you say in a first world country?
Yeah, people with money and technology. In third world, it'd be harder because you don't have the technology. So if we can all do this. Any one of us, you, me, your girlfriend, James, maybe not James, but any normal human being can do this. We can build a radio signal that can be bounced off the moon, and we can literally measure and count how long it takes for the signal to go to the moon and come back. Do you know how fast radio waves move?
So let me just ask you something. Have you ever personally done that, TJump? Yes. You have.
Yep, it's really cool. This is a high school college
Can I ask you another question?
Sure.
How do you know that your signal is not bouncing off the firmament? How do you know it's bouncing off the moon? I mean, you said that so if the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, right, while circling the sun at an ungodly, unfathomable amount of miles, and then you said the moon is moving at what, 2,000 miles per hour?
Yeah, in reference to the firmament. So we know it's not bouncing off the firmament because it doesn't come back in any direction we point it. It only comes back when we point it at the moon for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so the way radar works, correct me if I'm wrong, you can't have radar. You can't be going at a certain speed while something is going at a completely different speed and think you're going to get the radar to bounce off. You need to have two objects that aren't really moving.
Do you know what a submarine is? Do you know what
I
a
do.
plane is?
Yeah.
You know
In
they
fact,
put
the
radar-
definition of planes means a level surface. I'm
No,
just
no,
saying, though.
Airplane. So you
Yeah,
know what an airplane is?
plane, level surface.
Airplane with wings that flies, has engines on it. Airplane.
Yeah, like something that doesn't dip its nose every couple minutes to make up for the imaginary curvature. Yeah, sure, I know what that is.
Okay, so do they put radar on airplanes?
I don't know who they are. You mean like the Illuminati?
I mean, people who build airplanes. Do they put
I
radar
don't know,
on
bro.
airplanes?
I mean, they say that they put jet fuel in the wings, and that's a hoax too. They say that the jet fuel took down 3 buildings with 2
What
planes.
does this have
bro.
to do with what I said? So try to stay on
I'm
topic.
just saying I don't believe anything they say. So do they have radar on an airplane? I have no idea, bro. Do
Could
you
you
have proof that they do?
install radar on a toy model airplane? Could we do this? Probably.
Probably not.
He's not tech savvy.
Okay, so it's pretty easy to build a radar kit. They're very cheap, and anybody can do this. And it's very easy to install this on an object like a toy model plane. And it's
Okay,
very
I
easy to
understand what you're saying. So you're saying that the radar on an airplane is they're sending it back to the airport, right?
No, I'm saying that they can, while they're in the air, they can use the radar to detect other planes.
Okay.
So one moving object can use radar to detect another moving object just fine. That's how submarines work. Submarines do it. Planes do it. Cars do it.
Okay. And how far can that radar go? I'm just curious.
Depends on how powerful you send the signal. So the more powerful the signal, the farther it goes.
And for a more powerful signal, you would need what? More battery? More electricity?
Yes.
Okay. So how much battery power do you know, since we're on the subject, how much battery power or electricity would you need to send a signal 250,000 miles away, bro?
Few car batteries.
A few car batteries.
Yeah. Radio waves aren't like super powerful.
Really? So radio waves don't spiral out, right? They just go in a straight line forever and they stay strong the whole way.
Spiral out. So
yeah, everything spirals, bro. As it spirals,
they diffuse. They don't spiral. They diffuse. Yes, over time. But radio waves are electromagnetic waves, so it's like light. So it just like how the light off of the moon comes to us. We're essentially just doing the same thing in reverse, sending a radio signal back. It's not super diffused.
Okay, so you're saying with a few car batteries, you could do that?
Yes, literally.
You really think that?
Yes, there's literally manuals and videos of you can watch people doing this on YouTube, and you can replicate it yourself. You can go buy the equipment and do it yourself. Any human being can do this. People do this in college all the time. It's very, very simple. So we can build a radio tower, like essentially it's a dish, and send radio signals, and we can measure them here on Earth. So we can like measure that building is this far away, that plane is this far away, it's moving at this velocity. We can measure speed and size and distance, all with radio waves, and we can use the exact same thing and point it at the moon. And for some very strange reason, it takes 2.5 seconds for the signal we send to the moon to come back to us. Now, radio waves, I'm not sure if you know this, since they are like light, it's electromagnetic wave, it travels at the speed of light. And we can measure that here on Earth. We can measure the speed these things travel. So if it's 2.5 seconds for it to hit the moon and come back, that's about 500,000 miles. Just if you want to do the math, it's 186,000 miles a second for 2.5 seconds, about 500,000 miles. And then divide it by 2, because it's going there and back, you get 240,000 miles. Why do you think that is?
I mean, you're just saying numbers that are these things can't even be proven by any physicist. They throw numbers around and people are just like mystified. And the stuff you say sounds really, really smart to stupid people, bro. But simple logic, it's all laughable and it's all cartoon trickery, bro. Brought to you by Luciferian priests who kidnap little kids.
Which numbers can't I prove?
All the numbers you were just saying, bro. It's laughable, bro. I mean, even the news, if you watch a news feed from the other side of the world, there's like a 5 to 7 second delay, bro. Even now in 2021. Yes. But back in 1969, when Dick Nixon talked to Neil Armstrong from a landline rotary phone, there was like a 3-second delay, bro.
So
I mean, can I ask you something? Do you believe that Elon Musk sent a Tesla
I have
Roadster
no
to
idea.
space?
I don't follow Elon Musk. So we
Okay.
can measure, like you personally can measure the speed of light. What you do is you stand on a mountain or just any, like, over a long distance. You point a flashlight or a laser or a light of some kind at the opposite side of the river or lake or whatever, and then you have a gear, and if you can turn it, you can find that there's an increment in which you can see the light and can't see the lights, and so you can literally measure the speed of light yourself here on Earth. We could do this hundreds of years ago. So I don't, like, why is this something impossible that you can't show? Why can't you measure the speed of light?
Oh, bro, you really believe? I'm not sure if you're paid, shill, or if you really believe what you're saying, and the scales just haven't fallen off your eyes yet, bro.
So you're going, I'm waiting for the explanation of why we cannot measure the speed of light. Saying I'm a shill is not an explanation of why we cannot measure the speed of light.
That's ridiculous, bro. Measuring the speed of light. Come on.
Why is
That's
that?
like saying, well, I'm going to tell you why Superman can't fly or why Santa Claus can't come down your chimney, bro. It just doesn't make sense. It's just not logically sound. It doesn't make sense. It's ludicrous, bro.
How is that ridiculous? Like, can you see a flashlight from the other side of a lake?
Yeah, but you can't measure time with your light with your eyes, bro. That's ridiculous, bro. I mean, we're not living in an X-Men movie. Come on, bro.
Can you bounce the light off of a mirror? Yes, right. So you point a light in a direction and it goes in the direction and it bounces off a mirror.
Yeah,
right?
You can't see that, bro. You can't measure it's just ridiculous, bro, to think you can measure the speed of light.
It's really not.
It's pseudoscience, bro.
You may want to just Google how many people have done this. It's pretty simple. Like it's not a hard thing to understand. Like this is not hard. But suppose we could. Suppose there was some magical way we could measure the speed of light and it came out to 300,000 meters per second. And then we pointed it at an object. Like, well, do you think radar is accurate? Do you think that radar accurately measures distances between stuff?
Yeah, but only up to a certain point, bro.
Why? Why is there a distance limit?
Because just like with any type of radio signal you're sending out, it spirals out. So it starts out strong. Imagine you're tossing a pebble into a pool of water, which by the way is flat. Last time I checked, so when the pebble hits in the water, the first ripple is really thick, and as it ripples out, the ripple gets thinner and thinner until you don't see it. It's the same way with signals. It's the same way with anything, bro. That's the way things work, bro.
Perfectly reasonable. So if we started a ripple on one side of a lake and it fizzled out, would we be able to see it reflect back to us?
It depends on how big the lake was, bro.
So if we punch the water and the ripples start to flow and then they diffuse out and we don't see them anymore, could we ever measure them when they hit the other side and come back, or are they so small that we wouldn't be able to see them at that point?
I don't know. That's a really good question. I doubt you know the answer to that either, though.
Well, if they've diffused out and we can't see them, then we can't see them. So we wouldn't be able to see the even smaller ones that would continue to get smaller if they went farther back and then continue to get smaller as they bounced towards us again. So if we can't see them at 10 feet, we definitely can't see them at 20 feet, right?
Yeah. Also, imagine imagine your signal goes through something, I don't know, let me just make up some crazy thing like the Van Allen belts, right? Where they say so if you're sending a signal to the moon, that means you've gone through your whatever radio waves you said because you said you've done the experiment, you've sent things up to the moon and it's bounced back. So what happened when it went through the Van Allen belt? Did it just lose its signal for a little while, but then it regained its signal and just kept going as strong and as fast as when you first sent it?
It's like what happens if you put a bunch of pieces of dust on the water when you create a wave? Does the dust stop the wave?
That's ridiculous.
Well, so again,
I mean, the whole Van Allen belt thing is ridiculous, bro. So The Van
So
Allen
what
belts,
about that is
they say
ridiculous.
that they lose, and even NASA with all their high-fangled technology, they lose signal when they go through the Van Allen belts, but yet then they regain full signal strength, right? So does your thing lose its signal for a little while, and then it just pops back up and regains its signal strength again?
I don't have any idea what you're asking here. So how does this relate to my question? Like, so if we create a wave in water and it goes 10 feet and we can't see it, then obviously we won't be able to see it when it goes farther, right? It's not going to magically get stronger, right?
Yeah,
So
it's not going to magically get stronger.
So if we send a signal to the moon and we hear it back, that means it obviously has to be powerful enough to hit something and come back, right? If it diffused,
so did it go through the Van? When you send a signal to the moon, does it go through the Van Allen belts?
Sure.
It does. So you lose that signal for a little while, right?
No.
Do you only lose it on the way up? You don't lose it on the way back down?
We only get the signal when it comes back down. We don't. It's not like we have the signal the entire time. We only get the signal when it hits the thing and then comes back to us.
So you lose the signal when it's going up through the Van Allen belts, and then you lose the signal when it comes back down through the Van Allen belts, but then you regain the signal again, right?
I'll give you a chance to respond, Tom, but do want to also make sure that we've gone deep on this particular topic. And so once we have a chance after, in a moment, maybe from Jackie or from Sybil, would love, in case you have anything to throw in to the discussion, happy to hear from you. But Tom, like I said, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, so to lose a signal means that you have a signal already coming to you, and then it stops. When we send radio signals to the moon, we don't have anything back for 2.5 seconds. So we've lost the signal as soon as we've shot it off until it comes back to us. So we don't like lose the signal at some point, then regain it. No, it's a consistent stream of just constant signal. It's never
weird.
It's never lost.
So NASA says they've lost signal for like up to 3 minutes though. When all right, sorry.
Or pardon me, I was on mute, but we can come back to this, but do want to just see Sybil as well as Jackie in case you had anything you wanted to throw into the discussion. I know it's been moving fast, so just wanted to be sure you had a chance to if you'd like to.
I'm good for right now.
You got it. Sybil may be in the other room, but I know that she's on double duty right now. But we'll go back to Tom and FlatterDay, and just know that the door is open for you, Jackie and Sybil, at any moment if you want to jump in.
Mm-hmm.
So the Van Allen belt can only block certain radio frequencies. It can block certain kinds of signals. We don't use high and ultra wave signals in that way. So like when a spaceship loses a signal when it goes to the Van Allen belt, that's completely different from a radio signal being sent from Earth and bounced off the moon. There's not a parallel there, unless you can explain how exactly you think that would be relevant. I don't get it.
How will it be more than relevant? I mean, so if NASA's losing a signal going through the Van Allen belts for
different signals.
They're okay, then why wouldn't NASA just use the signal you used if you didn't have any problem bouncing it from the moon and back? NASA would be like, I mean, these are astronauts. We pay $51 million a year for these astronauts. We don't want these astronauts, especially Don Pettit, man. I love that dude. I love Don Pettit. We don't want anything to happen to Don Pettit, you know, or any of our beloved astronauts from SpaceX or NASA. You know what I mean? So when they're going through that Van Allen belt and there's a loss of communication, anything could happen to them, you know?
Remember you asked earlier, to create more powerful radio signals requires more energy, more car batteries, heavier weight to send to space.
Yes.
So you don't need a super powerful one to go to space for just anything. So again, separate things here. So you would need to explain why that would be relevant. Like just saying, there's a Van Allen belt.
Astronauts' lives are at stake here, bro.
That doesn't matter. So the Van Allen belt, does it block all radio signals? Do you think the Van Allen belt blocks all radio signals?
I don't even believe in the Van Allen belt, bro, but I'm playing devil's advocate right here.
Does it block light?
I'm going to just prove your guys' own Jesuit Luciferian religion by your own lives.
Does the Van Allen belt block light?
I don't know, bro. I don't even believe in the Van Allen belt, but I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm just going off of what Nasha has said.
So
what they put in the movies and in the news.
So assume the flat earthers or the globers are right for a second. if there's a Van Allen belt, but we can see all the stars, they're all in the exact same places and they're outside of the Van Allen belt.
Yeah, and they
Why
haven't
doesn't
moved
the
for
Van
thousands
Allen
of
belt
years.
block the sight from the stars? Why can we still see those?
Because the stars are set in the firmament, bro. They're set in their fixed position. Just read the first chapter of Genesis. It'll explain everything to you. It's pretty simple, actually. Occam's razor, the simplest solution is usually the right one. So if you believe in black holes and all this other mumbo jumbo stuff that nobody can explain, then that's fine. But if I can reach one audience member out there, hopefully the scales fall off their eyes and they see through the Luciferian deception from the Shah, then my job's completed.
So you can't actually explain why there's a problem there. So if the Van belt exists, we can see stars perfectly fine. They're not like diffused or missing. We don't lose a signal of the stars. We can see them pretty clearly. So obviously the Van Allen belt doesn't stop light from the stars. So why would it matter in other cases? Obviously it doesn't block everything. So we can send some things and it doesn't block them. Where's the problem here?
So by your own admission, you just debunked them. You just said they don't block the light from the stars, but
Right.
you're also saying light is a radiant. Light is like a signal, right? So
Sure.
that just disproves you just disproved the Van Allen belt. So thank you, TJump.
Who is claiming the Van Allen belt could block lights and all signals? Who says this? Like
No,
where is that in the theory?
You said these signals are just light, right? But yet the Van Allen belt does not block the light of the stars. So does the Van Allen belt block Nashah's signal when they're re-entering the atmosphere, or when Fake X sends up a Dragon Heavy Falcon Collider, whatever you want to call it, up into outer space? They lose a signal for a little while when they go through the Van Allen belts, bro.
So you
But
realize
you
there
even
are,
with your own admission said you can see the
No.
stars and the light through them.
so you realize there are these things called frequencies, and there's different frequencies for light. Like some things you can see, like you can see the standard colors, but you can't see infrared. You can't see ultraviolet. Those are different wavelengths, right? You understand what those are?
Yeah, and I understand also earlier in your speech you said that these signals are just light, but now you're backpedaling. But I mean that's what Globers do.
No, those are all light. So standard light is light, infrared is light, ultraviolet is light. Though they're all light. They're all electromagnetic radiation. They're all
And
light.
level means curved, right?
What?
Level means curved.
What?
You said they're all light, and I'm saying and level means curved.
They're all light. They're all light. Light. Standard light is light. Ultraviolet is light. Infrared is light. You can't see infrared or ultraviolet, can you?
You're asked. I don't know. Can you?
Not with my bare eyes, I cannot.
Okay.
But we can see it if we like look at it through an ultraviolet lens.
Okay.
We can if we look at it through an infrared lens. So there's something different. Those lenses can see certain wavelengths. Our eyes cannot see certain wavelengths. So those lenses catch things that our eyes don't catch. Right?
And you're comparing the lenses to the Van Allen belts.
Yes. So there's the Van Allen belt can catch certain frequencies, but not all frequencies. That's why
So
we
it can pick
see
and
stars.
choose. Van Allen belts is like gravity. It picks and chooses what it wants to hold down or what it wants to catch, right?
No, it's more like a fence. A fence has holes and the holes have a specific size.
Well, your story kind of has holes in it. You're backpedaling,
Like
but it's all right, bro.
Where is the backpedaling? I must have missed it.
You're backpedaling because you said these signals are just light. But the Van Allen belt can catch these signals, but it lets light through. See the problem with your story? See, the problem with the lie, bro, is you just have to keep adding to it, and it keeps snowballing. But the truth is like a line. It doesn't need maintaining.
You thinking that all light is the same is a mistake that you've made. I never said all light is the same.
I never said all light is the same. I'm just repeating what you said, bro. You said the signals are just light.
Yes, they're electromagnetic radiation. Not all light.
Van Allen belts catches the signals, but not light. You see what I'm saying?
Can you see all light? No. Does that mean that light isn't light? No.
Okay, so now you're adding to it. But earlier you said signals are light.
Yes.
You didn't specify what type of light. You just threw it out there thinking maybe I wouldn't catch it or something.
Catch what? It is.
I'm listening to everything you're saying, dude.
Clearly not. So yes, it's a type of light. Not all light acts the same. There's different wavelengths. They interact differently, which is why you can't see ultraviolet light. So referencing the Van Allen belt is defeated. No, that does not have anything to do with what I said. Yes, we can bounce radio waves off of the moon. It takes 2.5 seconds. How far away is the moon?
So you say, okay, so back to the moon thing, bro. The moon's 240,000 miles away, right?
Yes.
When it rises and when it sets, it's sometimes 4 times bigger. How do
Your
you explain
eyes
that?
don't change the size. The radio waves measure the exact
Wait,
same time. So,
So
if it's,
what we're seeing is a mirage then, right?
yes, your eyes aren't perfect. Congratulations.
Wow. So we're too small to see the curvature of the earth. We can't understand, our eyes are playing tricks on us. Don't trust our senses. They've been telling us that since we started elementary school. Don't trust our God-given senses, right? That's why people are so messed up. Their God-given senses are telling them one thing, and this indoctrination camp's telling them another thing, bro. People are torn.
What does this have to do with anything I said? So yes, our
It
senses are
has
very
everything
bad.
to do
They're
with
not
everything
reliable.
you said, bro, and a lot more. Think about it.
Yeah, I still have no idea why that has anything to do with what I said. So yes, our senses don't work. They're very bad. We have illusions and delusions and fallacies and biases that have proven to be
Nah.
existing. You know
I
what
trust
doesn't?
my senses 100% over anything that Shah or any Luciferian agency has ever said or anything you say, bro. God gave me these senses for a reason, bro.
Can I
Have you-
pipe in here?
Go
Absolutely.
For it. Have fun.
I'd love to hear from you.
I just had a quick question because there's a couple of things you were just talking about senses, and that made me wonder. So, do telescopes work?
Depends if you have a working telescope, I suppose.
I suppose so. So, when we see out into, I would call it space. But if we're looking out into space with a telescope, if we're using a telescope, what are we seeing out there?
Well, I mean, that's just like saying, where are we going to go if we win the Super Bowl? So you mean, what do you see or what do I see?
If you have a telescope, what do you see?
Depends on where I'm pointing the telescope, I suppose. And it depends on if it was night or day. Depends on atmospheric refraction. It depends. There's so many different factors.
Obviously, but in general, I mean, if you've got a high-powered enough telescope, you can see pretty far. A decent enough telescope, you can actually see Saturn. Why is everything else out there that we see spherical?
So if I were to take this, right? Because this is kind of what you're looking at when you see certain things in space, right? Or this. Is that spherical? Is this spherical? I mean, a lot of people say, is the earth round or flat? Let's not muddy the waters. The earth is very much round and very much flat. The earth is not a sphere. What you're looking at out in outer space, you're looking at orbs. You can see the same thing if you look at a swimming pool at night that has lights on the bottom of the pool. The way they move, you're looking at water waves. They say the stars are blinking and all this stuff. All it is the refraction of water. You're looking at lights that are fixed in the firmament. The North Star Polaris has never moved. That's how sailors have navigated for thousands of years. If they say we're spinning and zipping through outer space from a big bang, we would see a different star constellation in a different pattern every single night. Imagine if you were on a roller coaster. Imagine if you put a GoPro, glued it to a basketball. The roller coaster is going. You're spinning the basketball on your finger with the GoPro going. You're not going to see the same hot dog vendor with the same people waiting in line. You're going to see something completely different the whole ride. It's the same with outer space, but they say, oh, it's on such a big scale. We can't understand it. Our little puny human brains can't see it. The curve of the earth is too big to see. It's ridiculous. They say that you can see ships going over the horizon. Bill Nye. They say from the Red Bull jump, the earth is too big to see the curve. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Think about it. Maybe we've been lied to. I'm just saying, though.
Do you think the moon is a flat disk?
Yeah, I think everything you look at in outer space, which I call the firmament, is I don't even know if it's an actual disk or if it's just light. Like when you look, if I were to point a flashlight right at you like this, right? Would you call that a disk? Would you call that a sphere? Or I would just call it an orb of light. I saw on one dude's YouTube channel, he took a bottle of water, right? Just a bottle of water without about that much water, and he pointed a flashlight down into it, and the pattern it made of light on the sidewalk looked just like a star. And when I look at a swimming pool, the light from a swimming pool at night, it looks just like a star. If you've ever zoomed in on a star, it looks like just a bunch of energy like this, trying to jump out of itself. You know, there's nothing. Even with the best telescopes, you don't. Even with the Vatican's Lucifer telescope, they're just looking at orbs of light, bro. You know, whenever you watch a NASA program or anything, they say it's computer graphic imaging.
What are these orbs of light caused by? What causes these orbs of light? What are the little dots you see in the sky?
I take you back to the book of Genesis, chapter 1, and it explains it. All the orbs of light in the sky, the stars, the planets, the moon, and the sun, are for times, dates, and seasons for us. They're a map in the sky that God made for us.
But what are they?
It's a giant astrolabe, bro, and it doesn't change.
What are they made of?
Bro, you're just asking. You're trying
to. You
tell
me. What are they made of?
They're made of hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, helium, all the different elements.
And you know
we're made of.
That how you've tested that, you've gone there, you know that.
Yep, we can.
You've just heard that from other people.
No, we can measure the light reflecting off of them, and the light that reflects off them reflects in a very specific way.
You have proof of doing that?
Yes.
You have proof of doing that?
Scientific papers, yes, we do.
No, I'm saying you. Do you have proof of that?
Yes, they're called scientific papers. I don't have to do it myself. It's still proof. Doesn't matter if I did it or you did it or the scientists did it.
But wouldn't it be better to? Wouldn't it be better to actually know than to just believe? Because that would just be a belief if you're just hearing it from somebody else and you don't actually do the experiment yourself. Wouldn't you want to know? I mean, because I can say the Earth is flat, the Earth is round, whatever, all day long, but we really don't know. We really don't know.
Yeah, I can go and do the experiments myself.
None of us really know.
I can do the experiments myself too. I can go to the scientific places and repeat the experiments.
Then why haven't you?
Because I don't need to. Like, there's sufficient evidence that I can do. I can do the
why
radio
wouldn't you
waves.
want to?
No. Why would I do that? I can verify the Earth is round in lots of ways that I can just do from my basement.
I already told you.
Why even bring it up?
What? Because you asked.
Why even bring it up?
You asked.
But you haven't done it yourself, so I mean, it's kind of like.
I don't. Things can be proven even if I don't do them myself.
I mean, to be fair, there's lots of things we use all the time that we haven't actually designed, experimented on, or created ourselves.
Sybil, can I ask you a question?
Go for it.
So during your intro, you said why you can see further when you're further up, which actually proves flat Earth. So if we were on a sphere, the further up you went, the more you'd have to adjust and look down. But horizon always rises to eye level no matter how far up you go. Look at the Felix Baumgartner Red Bull jump. And the thing with a fisheye lens is when the horizon is above the middle of the screen, it's convexed. And when it's below the middle of the screen, it concaves. But when the horizon gets to the middle of the screen, it adjusts and it corrects itself. And so you could see the horizon's level. If you know anything about fisheye lenses, I don't know if you do or not, but by your own admission, you said why you can see further when you're further up, which kind of just proves our point. I'm just saying, though.
The way that I understand this, and by my own admission, I'm not an expert, but the way that I understand this is if everything were flat and light diminishes at a certain point, I should still be able to only see a certain distance no matter what my elevation is. But the fact that I can see further when I'm higher up is because of curvature. No, I said that backwards. The reason I can't see further, the reason I can't see further until I'm higher up is because of curvature.
So you're saying when you're higher up, you can see over the curve more?
Well, in my mind, the way that it works is if I had, an ant on a basketball, he's only going to see so far because of the curvature of the basketball. If I put him up on a pencil edge, standing straight up on the basketball, he'd be able to see a lot further.
Also, if you had an ant on a basketball and you spun it, wouldn't he fall off?
Actually, no, I doubt it. The ants are pretty sticky.
Yeah. Well, what about if you had a person on a giant basketball and you spun the basketball? Wouldn't that person fall off?
Fortunately for me, I believe in gravity. So far I've been able to stick firmly to the earth here.
But that's
What
just a
about
theory.
if you
It's
never
what
been-
if
been
you took
proven.
what if you took 1,000-pound piece of metal and you took a 100-pound magnet and you held that 1,000-pound piece of metal with a 100-pound magnet up indefinitely? Would gravity be like, I'm just taking a couple days off or a couple of years off? You know, I'll let you guys know when I'm back in the shop, and then that metal will fall because of gravity. Does gravity pick and choose? I'm just saying, though.
No, but we have figured out the force, we can measure gravity's effect on certain things, in which case we can also figure out ways to overcome that effect.
What would you
What
use
about
to
if-
measure gravity? Like a flat level or something with a bubble in the middle? Or a ruler? A flat ruler?
To measure gravity? No.
No?
What about a helium balloon?
To measure
come a
gravity?
helium-
No.
No. How come a helium balloon can rise up and it's not affected by gravity, but
You're asking the wrong person here. I am not the scientist. I've already established that.
It is.
I don't
affected by
have all the
gravity.
math.
So it is affected by gravity. It's just
I'm
less
just-
dense. So it's like if you put a bubble
yeah,
in
so
water.
it could be density and buoyancy. Why does it have to be gravity? Who's to say we would float off of the what? Who's to say we would float off? Why does there have to be a force? Who's to say it couldn't be flat and that we would just be there? I mean,
I would like to
Why does
ask,
there need to be a
we're
force
less
holding us down?
dense than water, but we're still pulled down in water.
Actually, no. When we jump in water, we bob right up to the
No.
surface.
No, most of you is going to be underwater if you're in water for some reason.
So
Like-
what
like,
about
it's not-
how come fish aren't pulled down to the surface then?
They are.
If when they're in water?
They are. They can swim though. So gravity pulls everything, fish and us. Like if sharks die, they sink.
When sharks die, they sink.
Yeah,
But
so
when
if
they're so gravity comes into effect when something is dead, right? But if something's alive, gravity doesn't really have an effect on it then.
if you're swimming up against gravity, then obviously you won't be pulled down.
Okay,
Well,
but
they're not
like
swimming
rockets.
up. they
fish swim in all directions, bro. They don't just
horizontal.
swim up.
Right, but the way sharks stay up is that they swim up.
They can just be
keep
sitting there
themselves-
and not go down.
Nope. If they die, or if they just stop, they sink and die. So they can't
How do
actually
you
stop.
sleep? How do they just sit? They sleep, so they just are sitting there in the water. They don't sink to the ground. They don't sink.
Nope, it's not quite how it works. Nope.
they
How does
don't
it work
stop
then?
swimming when they sleep.
They don't stop swimming.
Well, I'm sure there's an animal that does.
Some animals are buoyant in water. That's perfectly fine too, because some
Okay.
animals are less dense than water. I don't know why this is a hard issue or why.
So
why
you
think
said
this
it though. You said buoyant, which is buoyancy, which is a
Yes.
real thing.
Yes,
Gravity's
it is
not
a
real.
thing.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I keep wanting to call you McToon. TJump. How can a 100-pound magnet hold up 1,000-pound piece of metal indefinitely? Where's gravity?
I have no idea
Is
what
it
you're talking
taking the
about.
day off?
You said 100-pound magnets.
So you could have a magnet
so-
that weighs 100 pounds and it can hold up 1,000-pound piece of metal forever. Where's gravity?
Electromagnetism. It's electromagnetism, not gravity. Gravity's
So
still being pulled up
that
against it.
overrules gravity then, right?
Yes.
If this was a court of law, the gravity would be
strong-
overruled.
The strong and weak nuclear force are 40 orders of magnitude stronger than gravity. Yes. Gravity can't
Okay,
pull apart atoms.
so that kills gravity.
No, like if I hold up my hand, like my hand is made of cells, right? Do you believe in cells?
Bro, I don't believe in anything I can't see, taste, touch, feel, or hear.
We're made of little tiny pieces of some kind, right?
I mean, that's what we're told, bro. But I mean, you don't know that for sure. You're just repeating and regurgitating what you've been told.
Like you could cut your finger off and it would be separate from you, right?
Yeah,
But you would still exist. So there's parts. You have parts,
yeah.
but gravity doesn't pull your finger apart. Like you'd have to actually cut it, right? Like holding your finger up it's not going to fall off from gravity.
No.
So something is holding your finger there that is stronger than gravity is, because your finger is attached and gravity isn't pulling it apart, right?
So you're saying like my hand is holding up my finger like a magnet.
Yes, that is exactly what
That's-
I'm saying.
God. Dude, the mental gymnastics that you guys try to put us through is hilarious, bro. It really is. And you sound really smart to stupid people.
There's these things called atoms in your hand. They are held together by the weak and strong electromagnetic force, which is analogous to the electromagnetic force used in a magnet. So there are forces.
Where's gravity, though?
Still there. It's just not as strong. So a magnet, a 100-pound magnet holding up a 1,000-pound object, is held together in the same way your finger is held together. Gravity isn't strong enough to pull your finger apart, just like it's not strong enough to pull the 1,000-pound weight away from the magnet, because there's another force there.
But it's strong enough to hold everything on the globe.
No, we've sent stuff to space, so it's not. And there are.
You haven't sent anything to space, bro. But
what?
I mean,
you said we.
But it's holding all the water. It's holding. I mean,
Yes.
Water's heavy. It's holding all the water. It's holding all that stuff. So,
yep.
But then birds can fly, and I mean, how does it?
Because electromagnetism is stronger than gravity. So if you flap your wings, the electromagnetic connection is stronger than the gravity connection, and so it can interact with the other stuff in the atmosphere to move.
So why, as a kid, are we taught about this almighty gravity? Why aren't we taught about a force more powerful called magnetism?
Well, typically in high school, you're taught about all four fundamental forces. I don't know which high school you went to.
Speaking of school,
The Luciferian Indoctrination Center, you mean?
Did you know that Rockefeller said he didn't want thinkers, he wanted workers. And that's what our school system was set up to be.
I want a pony, so why do I care what he thinks?
Because that's what all of our school systems were made of. All of our education. We're not meant to be workers.
School was made long before
all of our
any of the
education is
Rockefellers.
based off.
School has existed for tens of thousands of years.
I know that, but that doesn't. What does that have to do with school today?
Because it's not founded by the Rockefellers. Like
I didn't
the Rockefellers.
I didn't say it was founded by them, but I'm just saying that that's they. Never mind. I gotta go.
Yeah, I'm here.
Did you change hats? I noticed.
Crap, I was on mute. But I had just mentioned, folks, while we were on mute, our guests are linked in the description, and that includes, if you are listening via Modern Day Debate, you can also find our guest links in the podcast episode for this debate. And it does appear, Tom, you were right, that FlatterDay Saint appears to have changed his hat. So I can get back to you guys.
Just repping that FDS, baby.
I had a quick question.
Go ahead, Sybil.
So you were pointing out with your marker there, the circular edge that we would see if we were looking into space that would look, like a sphere to us, or we would assume that it was a sphere. I want to know why everything we see in space would be oriented vertically that way if our Earth would be oriented horizontally.
Are you assuming a flat and level disc, or are you assuming a sphere when you ask that question?
I'm assuming if all the objects were flat level discs.
Yeah.
And then our Earth would be oriented horizontally with the people on the top. But when
like a disc, right?
Right. Like a penny flat on the ground.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking out into space, the penny would have to be standing up. For if I'm looking at Saturn or Jupiter or the moon or the sun, why would everything that I use my telescope to see out in space be oriented like a penny standing up instead of like one laying on the ground?
So you know what a colander is? Something that you rinse your vegetables off in?
Oh, yeah.
Imagine if you're a little person, a little tiny grasshopper of a person, and you have a giant colander over you, right?
Okay.
All the little holes in the colander are at different angles from each other, but they would all appear as orbs to you, as that little thing. That's kind of similar to what I'm just trying to explain it to you in layman's terms. Although a lot of flat earthers or flat earthers will say, why are you looking at the sky to determine the shape of the floor? I've come to the conclusion that a casino is the only place where they look at the sky to determine what happens on the floor. But I mean, you make a decent argument. So answer me this. Why, when they recreate outer space and they show you the star constellations in an observatory, it's always shaped like a dome? You cannot recreate outer space unless you're inside of a dome. So you might want to think about that.
Well, they're not actually. There's lots of observatories that have flat ceilings.
Really?
Yeah.
Give me one example of one, bro.
They have them in colleges all the time. Like, have you seen a star map? They're usually flat.
Okay, so can you give me an example of where they'd have that without a dome? Why do all observatories are dome shaped though when they recreate the stars?
Because we live on a globe, so they want to try and replicate it as most accurately as possible. But if you've ever looked at a star map, like they're all flat.
Whoa. That doesn't make any sense what you just said.
What?
So we're inside of a dome
Right.
In a college, right? A college campus, and they have a dome over us, and they're projecting the stars. We're on a flat floor, but you say they do that because we live on a sphere, and so they need a spherical thing over us to project the stars because we live on a sphere. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So if we look at the stars over there, and we look at the stars over there, they're coming at us from angles, right? They're coming at us from angles, correct? So they're not all coming at us from directly above. Some come at us from the side. It's like if we're standing on the grass during the night and we look to the left, there are stars. We look to the right, there are stars. Not all of the stars are straight up. So
it's just like if we're a little person, we're standing under a giant colander.
Right.
You see the dots from all different directions, even though the dots, some of them aren't quite adjacent with each other. They're all at different angles from where we're at under that giant colander. It would look like all the dots are spheres pointing at us from all around us, all above us.
So yeah, if there's stars over there and there's stars underneath the horizon that we can't see yet, the best way to do that is to build a dome, because then you'll be able to see the stars over there and the stars over there.
Yeah, you just proved my point for me. Thank you.
No, because we can see the stars that are actually below the horizon too.
You concede now? Is this debate over? Or do you still want to go?
Well, I concede the silliness of your argument supersedes mine by a significant margin.
You've already proved me right twice with the Van Allen Bell light thing and now this, but all right.
So, yeah, so you don't know.
It is what it is, bro. Either you're, like I said, either you're page chill or the scales haven't fallen off your eyes yet. I'm leaning towards the former, not the latter.
I wish I was paid. That would be nice. But
I mean, you are, bro.
Not
Come
understanding
on.
lights
Hey,
is not.
TJump. You know you're getting that check from the Shah, bro, or one of them Luciferian agencies. You know what I mean?
I'd like one for sure.
I see through the muddy waters, bro.
Hey, maybe you guys could just pay me more. Maybe that'll work.
Sometimes you gotta climb to the center or the top of the pyramid to see what goes on at the bottom. You got all the goyim at the bottom who don't really see or understand everything. You got everybody walking around with oxygen inhibitors on their mouth and grounding inhibitors on their feet. You know what I mean? Getting that Madurka.
Shoes?
I'm just saying though.
Shoes? Are those grounding?
Yeah, inhibitors? Grounding inhibitors, bro. That's what I call them.
That's hilarious.
With that,
it is what it is, bro. I just call it like I see it, bro.
Maybe an opportunity to jump into the Q&A. We hope Jackie is okay. Jackie, if you're out there, we hope to have you back, but if something came up, we understand, and we are going to jump into the Q&A, and do want to remind you folks, one, that our guests are linked in the description. We do appreciate them, and also, folks, yeah, we are very excited. We are going to jump into these, and we're going to try to move as fast as possible, and so TJump's got his timer ready. This first one coming in from, we do appreciate your question from Tim Pryor says, "Aw, math. Flat earthers, do you get it?" Gotcha.
I guess that's to me, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I get what 1491 is, bro.
Okay, this is your chance to tell us what 1491 is.
So when I was little, I was indoctrinated with in 1492, Christopher Columbus, CC 33, sailed the ocean blue, and all these dumb people, I didn't use the R word, James, all these dumb people thought the earth was flat, and CC, Christopher Columbus, Columbine, District of Columbia, proved that the earth was a spherical spinning ball in 1492. So I'm just bringing it back before the year of indoctrination, before the year of the discovery of the New World, which is the Novus Ordo Seclorum, New World Order. I'm taking it back to the good old days, bro. Good old 1491 before the Indians were raped, pillaged, and murdered.
Gotcha.
I'm just saying, though.
Up. Thank you very much, Sigma Any, for your question. Says TJump on this topic, on this channel, localized entirely within my computer. You have, I think, a fan out there. And wrote in no last name says, "Why have no international airline or international cruise ship crews come out against the globe?" FlatterDay Saint and Jackie, their jobs require maps based on the globe.
Hey, chills. That's how.
That's why. $51 million a day. Check every day. Check NASA's annual budget. Divided by 365 comes roughly to about $51 million a day. I mean, for $51 million a day, I would lie to everybody I know and tell them the Earth is a sphere. And we're too small to see the curvature. There's nothing to see here. Just keep giving me my checks. I mean, even for a fraction of that money, I'd even lie to my own parents and tell them the Earth is a sphere. So for that amount of money, people are dying, bro. People are getting murked every day for that amount of money to keep it quiet. A lot of people have died for what I believe in. And if something happens to me, go to #MartyrFlatterDaySaint. I'm just saying, though.
Gotcha. And Sigma Any says Globers can't deal with the diffeomorphic geometry of Euclidean embedded Riemannian manifold subsets which prove the flat Earth. Back me up, flat fam.
I'm not quite sure what she said, but if she's a flat earther and she's knocking what TJump stands for, then, you know what I mean? You get two thumbs up for me.
You got it. And Tim Pryor, we got that one. Let's see. Oh, maybe my favorite one of the night. FlatterDay Saint is seriously dominating / spanking TJump. Okay. Tom's face. Okay. Next up. Come on, Tom. I'm
No
just
formal
teasing.
education, no college degree, and I dropped out of high school. Imagine that.
I don't want, like, folks, we want to remind you, we love the guests. We want you to ask you to be as friendly as possible to them. If you're going to say anybody is getting spanked by FlatterDay, say it's me. Okay, so next one, Michael Dresden.
Hey, don't say spanked, say flat tapped. They're getting flat tapped.
All right, flat tapped. Sigma Any says, don't forget 3 suns balance the firmament, not 2. Thank you for that previous debate we had on whether or not there are 2 suns. Chris says, pancakers. Just because you don't understand something doesn't make that something untrue. Take a basic algebra-based conceptual physics class. Why are they calling you pancakers?
Flat Earth pancake.
Oh, yes, okay. Makes sense. Well, FlatterDay, here's your chance to respond.
I'm just a dumb flat earther over here sipping on this level water. You know what I mean? Just saying, though.
Gotcha. And thank you very much for your question. This one coming in from JCAD says, flat earthers, obviously the point of your movement is to scrutinize the government. We get it. They are sketchy. Why waste your efforts like this, though? Is that true? Is it fair to say that the flat earth movement is primarily to criticize the government and you guys are maybe taking it a little too far by, getting into the flat earth stuff?
The Solomon Brothers Building 7.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
And next up, Baran Van G says, FlatterDay Saint, we've had enough of. Can we hear from Jackie May? Jackie may be back, but we don't know for sure. We hope. But Actual Socialist Trash, my favorite username, says, love for the channel. Get me on sometime, bro. Thank you. We would shoot me an email at moderndaydebate@gmail.com. That reminds me, folks, if you have not heard, we are pumped as next week the Bigfoot debate is happening. We have two Bigfoot advocates. Like, they're not, big on it, but they're like, hey, yeah, we think there's good evidence for a Bigfoot. And we are looking for two people who are skeptics regarding the existence of Bigfoot. So if you happen to be a person who's like, I highly doubt your evidence is good, let us know. That's going to be this Tuesday. If you would be interested, I'm at moderndaydebate@gmail.com if you'd like to be in that debate. So you can let me know during chat, too. I'm keeping an eye on it. The Crawdaddy029 says, Part 1, I like how FlatterDay said the easiest explanation is the correct one. You've never been a project manager, have you? It's easier to accept the known science by experts in these fields than to pretend there is a global conspiracy, including people like me who have traveled the globe.
You've traveled in an airplane, right? Plane, flat, on the horizon. Airplanes don't continually dip their nose down. I'm just saying, though, it's a simple explanation.
Gotcha.
Or it's a really complicated one. We're hurtling through space with black holes and quasars and all kinds of Newtonian physics. Or are we?
Not Newtonian, no.
Will Stewart says, FDS, where in the scripture does it say the earth is flat? Please don't use the face argument, as a face doesn't denote flat, as a circle has infinite faces. Surface denotes the outermost face.
Well, you could Google it. There's over 200 scriptures. The book of Genesis, chapter 1, we don't even need to go any further. Everything was, all the stars set in the firmament. In the beginning, the Spirit of God, or Yah, shouts out to Witsit, hovered over the surface of the water. Think about this, 12 in a clock, right? 12 months in a year, 12 zodiac signs, and 12 disciples. I'm just saying, though.
Thank you. And appreciate your spirited response. But next up comes in Jake Dragelis. Thank you for your question. Let me know if I pronounced your name right. It says, does FlatterDay Saint consider TJump a quote-unquote bro, though? I didn't quite catch whether or not that's the case.
A bro?
Yes. I think they're referring to the fact that you called Tom Jump a bro approximately 500 times during this debate. But
I consider him a bridge. And I think bro in German or Swedish or Spanish or whatever, it's bridge. Shouts out to McToon, baby. Shouts out to McToon. Level means curved. I'm just saying, though.
Abdullah Ibn Iblis, thank you for your question, says, you weren't given the revelations yourself. You just got that book from other people. I think that's for you, FlatterDay.
But you discovered all of Nashaw's secrets on your own, right? Nobody gave that to you? Come
Gotcha.
on. You know it's real because it looks so fake. I'm just saying, though.
And this next one comes in from the Crawdaddy029. Says, Jackie, do those glasses on TJump's face work? Did you test them to see if they work? Also, sorry, but things of mass attract. We might see Jack. Do you know what happened to Jackie, FlatterDay Saint? Because you guys are in the same vicinity. Is Jackie okay?
Yeah, I think the dogs are acting up again.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure. She's next door, so I'm a lot more beautiful to look at than she is, though. So I'm just saying, though.
You have a tremendous hairline. I'll give you that. I'm surprised you wear all these hats when you have such a great hairline. But
hey, thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
And
I'm just trying to represent FlatterDay Saints, and I'm representing FlatterDay debates, bro.
You got it. And
You know what I mean?
Let's see. Actual Socialist Trash, my favorite name of all, says, FlatterDay, I want a piece of you. I want a debate.
Well, okay, so fight the facts first. McTooney, I went with McTooney Town because he doesn't cuss too much. If I ever cuss, you guys can call me on it. I'm trying not to represent Lucifer in that way, shape, or form. But fight the facts first. a couple other shills who get checks from the government have asked me to go on their platform. I don't like the way they edit people, and I don't like the way they mock people. I'll never rage quit, though. You guys can count on that. I'll never rage quit on anybody. But on McToon's channel, he rage clipped me. So I will debate anybody on James's platform. I got much love and respect for James. Unfortunately, he does a lot of other juicy debates besides little flat earth things. But if we could go on a neutral platform where you guys aren't trying to always like take shots at me in a roundabout ways and stuff and try to low-key diss me, you get the picture.
You got it. I will let him know that. And SIP says, thanks to Modern Day Debate for cataloging our culture's mind rot. Hey, come on, guys. Take it easy on Tom. He's doing his best. They say, wow, ever wonder what talking to a caveman would be like? Well, these even speak English. Again, leave Tom alone. He's our friend. Now, next up. Farron Salas says, TJump's chair hasn't said a single word and destroyed FDS. And Jackie checked out. Flat Earth, I'm impressed. I think they're being sarcastic in that last point. What do you think, FDS?
They keep calling me FES. It's FDS.
Oh, that's what I meant to say.
I'm just saying, though.
I meant to say FDS if I said FDS.
Oh, okay, yeah. You know what I mean? I'm just correcting it. What do I think? I mean, I would give up my life for this flat Earth business that I'm doing. So, if I reach one of these little kids with scales on their eyes out there in YouTube land or face page or Snapchat land or whatever you call it, then my job here is done. Say it ain't so, Joe. I'm just saying, though.
You got it. And this one coming in from Will Stewart responds again. He's not letting you. He's coming after you. He says, FDS, a sphere has a surface. Does a ball have no surface? You still didn't list a single verse that says that the earth is flat.
You can Google it. There's 200 Bible verses that prove flat earth. So Google it if you want to. People like this, it doesn't matter what I say. They're always going to come around and try to diss me in a roundabout way. It's like, you're not really asking because you're really seriously intrigued to know if the earth is really flat or not. You're just trying to trip me up in my words. So better luck next time.
Gotcha. And Larry Letts says, for FDS, I have a small 4-foot telescope. With it, I can see 4 orbs of light going around Jupiter. What are those?
There's a lot of strange things that go on in the sky. I have my own theories. I believe they're building scaffolding up there. And I believe they cover up the moon with all these strange clouds, do a lot of weird things. These are my theories, though. So gotcha. I can't prove any of them. Anyway, that's what I believe a lot of crazy things.
You got it.
Peep out my channel and you'll see some crazy things and you'll hear some crazy things.
Next up, Larry Letts says, for FDS. Oh, we got that one. King Ed the Fifth says, Christopher Columbus and the world knew the earth was a globe before 1492. You are just saying.
1491 baby. Through and through.
Is that a real tattoo?
It's a real tattoo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it doesn't come off.
Yeah, you're really into that. All right, Actual Socialist Trash says, I meant on this channel, so they're willing to debate you on Modern Day Debate. Tim Pryor says, I'm going to poll a flat earther. Have you been to the dome? Have you ever touched the dome? No? Then how do you know there is one? Do you just believe in what flat earthers tell you?
No, I believe in what my senses, my God-given senses tell me. Have you ever been to space? You ever touched a convertible Tesla Roadster? You know it's real because it looks so fake. I'm just saying, though.
King Ed the Fifth also says, does FlatterDay even know how airplanes work at all?
No jet fuel. Without jet fuel.
Yeah. Do you know that the word plane means level, flat? I'm just saying, though. You know, the simplest answer is usually the correct one, bro.
To press
How comes the razor?
Reading between the lines on my part, just trying to, I think what they were trying to get at is regarding the alleged lack of nose dipping that the plane goes through as it flies that you had discussed.
Yeah.
I think they're saying they're kind of challenging your That's my guess. I think they're challenging you on that.
Well, if they're saying the lack of nose dipping, then they prove my point without even me having to say anything. I'm at a loss for words.
Gosh, yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much. And this one coming in from Will Stewart. Oh, wait, we got his, but he's got another one too. JC93013 says, FlatterDay Saint, what lies beyond the ice walls of Antarctica? I will laugh in advance at your answer. LOL.
I don't know. Why don't you watch an old news clipping of Admiral Byrd talking about the land beyond the South Pole that's bigger than the United States with all kinds of interesting material? I'm just saying, though, believe it or not,
Gotcha.
do your own research, use your own brain.
The Crawdaddy strikes again, says, I was Navy, actually, and have seen the non-ice wall. But thank you for telling everyone why you are a flat earther.
Oh, so you were a seaman. Cool.
Gotcha. Next up, Lee. Hold on one moment, folks. The page is reloading on me. But do want to remind you, folks, our guests are linked in the description. And also want to remind you that includes if you're listening to the Modern Day Debate podcast. JCAD says, FDS, Nathan Thompson, the name that ought not be spoken, can't do trig in kilometers because he only works in miles. Does that go for you too?
Sorry, all I heard you say was Nathan Thompson.
They said Nathan can't do I think they're saying trigonometry in kilometers.
Yeah.
Because he
I
only
thought you
works
said
in...
Nathan couldn't do tricks. I was like, have you ever seen Nathan pass out flyers while he's on his skateboard? He does all kinds of tricks.
Okay. Well, next up,
saying,
JCAD says Nathan can't do trigonometry in kilometers because he only works in miles. Does that go for you too?
Have you guys ever seen Nathan Thompson recite in alphabetical order while he's doing the ping pong ball thing? His brain's pretty big, dude. I don't know about trigonometry and all that stuff. Like I said, I have no formal education. I just use my ears to hear and eyes to see in the senses that God gave me.
Gotcha. And Will Stewart says, just one verse, FlatterDay. Should be easy with 200 plus. Which is your favorite flat earth Bible verse?
Genesis 1 verse 6.
What does it say?
Says he separated the waters from the waters, bro. The waters below from the waters above. A lot of Luciferians got that whole as above, so below thing. That's where they got it from. They like to invert Yahweh's scriptures and pervert them. I'm here to represent them to the fullest.
Gotcha. And all right. Thank you very much for your question. This one coming in from the Craw. Let's see. Sorry, folks. I'm a little delayed over here, as you can tell. Babylon 69 says, why are all flat earthers wrong? They seem to take issue with your interpretation of the globe, or planet, I should say.
Why are we all wrong?
Right.
I like how you said right after I said wrong. Love the duality. Love that duality. Why are all globers right, I guess?
You got it.
Why does horizon not mean horizontal? Why does level mean curved? Shots out to McToon. Void where prohibited.
Gotcha. And McToon is scheduled to be on in a week, by the way, folks. Want to let you know that should be a juicy one as we look forward to. It's been a while. But SIP says, why do the power lines going over Lake Pontchartrain dip down below the horizon bottom first, but as you approach, they rise up? Are they on hydraulics?
He says, as I approach. I've never approached anything like that. We didn't win the Super Bowl. We didn't go to the moon. I don't know. Have you tested it yourself? I've tested the waters, and I've tested the rains down in Africa, so to speak. The waters are level, no matter what shape or size of container, perspective, atmospheric occlusion, second law, thermodynamics, yada, yada, yada. Next question.
Next up, this one is King Ed V. He has words for your response regarding planes. He said, FlatterDay is just lying. And yeah, that's exactly it. And planes land nose up. The nose angle has nothing to do with altitude.
Hey,
Well,
line
you just
is a
proved my
line.
point. Planes land nose up. Thanks for proving my point, bro. They don't dip down. I don't even need to answer that. He proved my point.
I think they say land nose up. The nose angle has nothing to do with the altitude. I thought they were getting at your point of the nose dipping up and down as the plane flies, but while I'm reading the question, I agree with you. It's hard for me to make the connection between the landing itself and whether or not
He proved
the
my
nose
point without even
bobs.
me having to say anything. So thank you very much.
Hey,
Much
line has the word
appreciated. Good
line in
looking
it,
out.
right? Line has the word line, so it's obviously a line. It's flat. Line and line.
Well, according to McToon, level means curved. So it depends on what world you live in. I live in a world that I can see is clearly flat. You guys live in some spherical spaceball world. I'm just saying, either you're getting a check or the scales haven't fallen off your eyes. I think it's the former. You claim it's the latter.
This
Only
one
time will
comes in.
tell, dude.
EndoXD says, why would a planetarium have a flat roof to display the stars? Is the night sky flat in your worldview too? It's a dome.
No, it's like an upside down colander, bro. It's a dome.
Hold on. They said it's a
Sorry.
dome because there's stars all around us.
Another person who proved my point without me even having to answer, they said it's a dome. I'm just going to remain silent because it's a virtue.
But I think they're saying, like, why would you expect... I think that they interpreted you as implying that a planetarium would have a flat... that it ought to have a flat roof. But they're saying, like, why would
I'm not saying that it ought to have a flat roof. I'm saying, isn't it funny that they all have dome-shaped roofs? What a coincidence, right?
Gotcha. And then they say, is the night sky flat in your worldview too?
Like I said before, I believe we live under a dome, just like if you were under a giant colander. That's my best example, because most people's minds are too puny to understand or comprehend it. Just like they say we're too small to see the giant curve. Next question. Thank you.
Elka Babylon, thank you for your question, says, if flat earthers trust their senses, I challenge any of them to point one of the hundreds of millions of microorganisms in their gut.
Hundreds of millions, huh? And they can see that, right? Or do they just take the news or the scientific Luciferian teachers who've been indoctrinated and paid off by the Rockefellers' word for it? Gee, there couldn't be a motive for them wanting to think that you live on a spinning ball. You got that fight or flight 6 feet in front of us, only tunnel vision mentality. I'm just saying, though.
Will Stewart strikes again. He is a man with you could say he's a man on fire, he says. So how does that mean flat? Separation of the atmosphere and the ocean doesn't mean flat. In fact, as you say, we live under a dome. Are domes flat? FlatterDay Saint, therefore it is obvious that verse never says the Earth's surface is flat.
So again, I said the only place where you can judge what happens on the floor by looking at the ceiling is in a casino. So just saying, though. Call the floor. We have a problem on the table.
Oh, but I think they're saying, like, it doesn't logically follow, like, summarizing. I think they're saying it doesn't follow that even if there is, like, water being separated in terms of, like, the water of the oceans and the water of the, like, if there's water in the air, if you interpret it that way, like, it still doesn't imply that the Earth was, like, flat, right? Logically, it could be the case that the Earth is still a globe, and then it just has that kind of water suspension still.
There's multiple verses saying that the Earth is unmovable. He placed the Earth as his footstool. The Earth is like a seal with a stamp on it.
Gotcha.
Bro, you're not trying. You don't really want the answer because Lucifer is hard in your heart and there's scales over your eyes, bro. But if you really do want the answer, you could just Google it. Just ask Yah into your heart and he'll open it for you. You just got to be sincere, bro.
Next up, JCAD says, FDS, so are you saying we aren't made of atoms? I'll buy you a microscope so you can use your God-given senses to figure that out.
What microscope on this planet can see atoms that you could buy me? Answer me that, bro.
We can see
Ridiculous.
cells.
By your own lies, I can break you guys apart. I don't
We
even
can
have
see
to say anything.
cells. We can see cells with a microscope.
Cells, okay, but are cells atoms?
Well, before in the debate, I asked, "Are we made of cells?" And you said we can't see them. So I think that's what he was referencing.
But he said atoms, so I think that's what he's referencing, bro. Words are very important. But then again, in a world where level means curved, I guess black means white and up means down, right? Good means bad.
Well, there are electron microscopes too.
And they can see atoms.
Yep.
Okay, so buy me one then.
Next,
Not you, but the person who offered to buy me one. Yeah, I'd be delighted if you bought me one. And if I can see atoms through the microscope, you decide to donate to me, I'll be the first to say it. I'm just saying though.
King Ed V says, ask him what is a radar horizon, and that alone proves the globe. Example, Navy I'm an ex-Navy ATC. I used radar and know how it works.
That question's for me, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So he wants to ask me what a radar horizon is, right?
Roughly speaking. I can read it. Let me read it
Okay.
again just to be sure that I give him like the best
Okay.
shakedown for his question. Said, ask him what is a radar horizon, and that alone proves the globe. Namely, that there is a radar horizon.
Okay, so horizon means horizontal. Horizon's a flat line. So just like I said before, by your own words, you will be convicted. I don't need to say anything. He proves my point right there by invoking the horizon, actually admitting that it's true. I don't need to say anything. Horizon means horizontal.
Well, if you
Enough
go to
said.
the images section, you'll notice that all the pictures are curved for some reason when they say that.
Yeah, every time they use that fisheye lens, just remember, ladies and gentlemen and children of all ages out there in YouTube world, that even with a fisheye lens, the picture corrects when the horizon hits the center.
There's
Food
not,
for
it's not
thought.
like it's not a photograph when they're explaining the concept.
Yeah,
of,
I'm talking about video, bro. I'm talking about a moving picture. Watch the Felix Baumgartner jump. Watch any Nasha space launch. They can't always control and manipulate the picture. Every once in a while, that fisheye lens allows the horizon to go in the middle. When it does, it flattens out.
they're hand drawn.
Hence the name horizon. I'm just saying though.
They're hand drawn diagrams to explain what the horizon is.
TJump, how much are they paying you, bro? Come on, bro.
Not
Everything I've
enough.
given you already, the scale
Not-
should have been done falling off your eyes.
Not
Next
nearly
up.
enough.
This one
All right.
comes in from King Ed V again. Says, okay, let me clarify. The altitude of the plane directly relates to the speed of the plane, not the angle of the nose. Okay, I'm sorry that I actually attempted to summarize it and I did that wrong. So King Ed V says they're talking about the altitude of the plane and how it directly relates to the speed of the plane.
So when they're talking about altitude, would they mean above sea level? And then they said the word plane, which further proves my point. They're flying above a plane, flat surface. Like I said, by their own words, they will be convicted. Stop trying to trip me up. You guys are convicting yourself with your own words because the English language isn't really designed to fit the globe 100% since the globe's a lie. They always have to add more and more lies. It's like a snowball effect, but the truth is like a lion. It doesn't need maintaining because you can't tame a lion's mane. Next question.
Next up, Will Stewart comes after you again. As I had said, he's a man on fire. He says Genesis 1:6, and they're quoting it here. They say, and God said, let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters. And then they said, FlatterDay Saint, please help find the word flat in that passage.
You know, even the devil tried to quote the Bible to Yahshua. It ain't going to happen here, bro. Like I said, either the scales haven't fallen off your eyes yet, or you're a page shield trying to trip me up. I think it's the latter. I'm just going to pray to Yah that he opens up your heart, bro. You get a little humility and you get some understanding before your soul goes down to the lake of burning fire where there'll be weeping and gnashing of teeth and the worm never dies. Next question.
He has another, he just fired in another response. He says, he says, can I not use a ball as a footstool? Namely, in parentheses, a place to rest my feet. You do know that Satan adds things to Scripture in order to twist God's word, right? Genesis, for example, temptation of Jesus. Are you sure you are not deceived?
Well, if you're using a ball as a footstool, your boyfriend might have a cramp if your foot's in between his legs. I'm just saying, though. Next question.
Let's see. To press you on this, though, just to be sure you're attempting to address, they basically, it looks like they're kind of giving the same challenge back to you, namely on whether or not you're twisting scripture, especially if people are able to use a ball as a footstool.
Yeah. And a ball is like a seal that's stamped unmovable. Right.
Tim Pryor says, no, I haven't been to space, but I have a good telescope, and you can track that roadster and see it like I have, just like with the ISS.
Oh my, whoa, wow. You've seen the roadster, huh? And it's playing Rocket Man, and it's got a little Hot Wheels toy resting on the dash. Elon says it is not even space tested. It's just a regular roadster. He also said, it's real because it looks so fake. It was fake. We'd have much better CGI, thus indicating that it is fake. They sell half truths. They put truths in there. If it was fake, we'd have much better CGI. I'm just saying, though, words are important. You guys don't seem to understand that, or you're trying to trip me up with your words. You're trying to mix things up. Not going to happen.
Gotcha.
FlatterDay Saints, baby. Come on.
Want to remind you folks out there that we want to be friendly or at least not insult the guests, and that goes for both sides. No matter what issue it is, we always want to ask that you would attack the arguments instead of the person. And then Bubblegum Gun, thanks for your question. This one coming in as well from Magellan catching up, said, FlatterDay, is it possible to determine it's about to rain by looking at the sky, or do you wait till your feet get wet before employing an umbrella?
Funny you asked that, since they've stopped all rainfall in California. It's been a long time since it's rained here. Not to get off the subject or anything. That's a good question. Do the people in Australia also look to the sky upside down and their feet get wet? They're standing upside down. Do I employ an umbrella? I don't carry an umbrella because it doesn't rain in Southern California. The weather modification patents, you can look them up. There's hundreds of them. They stop the rainfall. So it doesn't rain in Southern California or anywhere in California, really, unless it's fake Morgellon rain. I'm just saying, though.
I think that as an analogy, because it's probably sunny in California, so I'll paraphrase their objection.
No, it's Chemi. It's Chemi in California.
I'll paraphrase their objection into a different one. Like, I think they're saying, like, let's say, do you wait until you start to feel the sun on your skin, or do you maybe throw some sunblock in your backpack or your pocket before you even step outside to feel the sun? And I don't use
any synthetics on my skin. I don't use deodorant, sunblock whatsoever. I don't even wear shoes. I don't wear an oxygen inhibitor, grounding inhibitors. I don't believe in any of that. I rarely even wear sunglasses unless the chems are really bad in front of the sun, and I believe it's unnatural. I'm trying to get as close to the way my creator made it as possible, going way back to this era. That's just how, call me old fashioned.
Gotcha. I think they're trying to object to your, what I think even compared to Tom would be maybe called radical empiricism, namely that you won't even believe in atoms unless you saw them. So is there anything, I'll just kind of ask, I
believe in Adam and Eve. I believe she was deceived in the garden.
Is there really not anything that you would say you don't actually act on, like the knowledge of or kind of the idea of, without first empirically observing it?
I used to be like one of the mini sheeple, and I believed in all kinds of stuff like the Thomas Fire and Sandy Hook and all, Columbine.
All right, we're not going to go.
The scales fell off my eyes.
Why do you believe the stuff in the Bible even though you haven't seen it?
It speaks truth. It rings truth to my heart. It ain't nothing can be disproven. I take the Bible as an instruction booklet, though. I don't like the people who are on stage yelling da da da, fire and brimstone, this and that. I don't consider myself a Christian. That's like if your friend got shot, would you consider yourself a bulletson or a gunson? No. To me, wearing a cross is disrespectful. I'm not into all that. I consider myself a born again flat earther, washed in the blood of Yah, my Creator. I stand for Him in everything I do. John 3:12. If you do not understand earthly things, how can you understand heavenly things? I'm just saying, though.
I just want to get us back on track. Bubblegum Gun says Satan was an angel of God, a tester, not a devil.
What do you want me to say that?
You, I'm not exactly sure what they mean, but this next one might
He
be clear.
appears as the angel of light.
Magellan says, now you've got the Christians all coming after you. And Magellan says, Acts 12 through 34, the Lord thy God created the earth as if it was an apple, and the seed line its center. Rejoice in his acts. I think they're saying that, if anything, this looks like a verse that implies that the planet is not flat, because it says that God created the earth as if it was an apple, and the seed line its center.
Okay, so people that call themselves Christians need to really just do some research. Like I said, I lived with a pastor of a church for almost a year. I know the Bible really well. Their logo is a globe. It's really sad because I believe that these Luciferians who indoctrinate these people with these think camps, they want people to believe in the Bible and believe they're saved by Christ through the blood, and then believe we live on a spinning cartoon ball. I mean, that's it. It's double down. I mean, these people, there's nothing else to see here. You're already saved. You're good. I've gone up to people who say they're Christians and all kinds of stuff. Peep my channel. I run up on Latter-day Saints. Nobody wants to. Everybody is so content that we live on this cartoon ball. It's like there's nothing to see here. Condemnation without proper investigation. That's the story of my life. My dad won't even talk to me anymore. You know, he's a NASA fanboy. Welcome to my life. It's all right, though. I live and breathe flat earth, baby.
And Will Stewart says, coming after you, he's like a dog with a bone. He says, you are adding flat to Scripture to fit your narrative. Are you not? Unless Scripture says it, you are twisting it. True?
Bro, I'm just adding what my God-given senses and what my eyes see to fit reality. Fake.
JCAD says, FDS, can you provide a working model for the flat earth that explains how the sun moves? Equations would be nice.
Go to the Google Play Store, download the Flat Earth app. It's a pretty good way to do it. Go to Globebusters. They got a lot of cool diagrams and stuff. Shouts out to Jaron.
I think they're asking, to be fair though, I think they're trying to ask, like, do you have one on hand that you could show or explain?
I don't have one on hand that I can show or explain. You guys can, like I gave you a couple examples of things you can do, though. You know, I could pull out a globe, though, and show you how that doesn't work, or flip the bottom of the globe and it says for decoration purposes only. I'm just saying, though. Next question.
Jumping to the next one. Tim Pryor says, definition of level, entry 3 of 3. 1A, namely the definition is having no part higher than another, conforming to the curvature of the liquid parts of the Earth's surface. Or B, P straight from Merriam-Webster Dictionary.
That sounds like Merriam-Webster McToon Dictionary to me. I'm just saying, though. I mean, I got the definitions right here. A horizontal planar line with respect to the distance above or below a given point. That's the noun. Adjective, having a flat or even surface without slopes or bumps. Or the verb, give a flat and even surface too. So I don't know, whatever you're quoting me sounded like something McToon said.
It's
Shouts out to McToon.
McToon is not Merriam-Webster. but they say, I think what they're trying to argue is that according to like a popular dictionary out there, they're saying that level can mean conforming to the curvature of the liquid parts of the Earth's surface.
I hear a lot of kids out there saying sick, and that really means well. Michael Jackson came out with an album called Bad, and a lot of people thought it was good. So I guess level could mean curved in this wicked and perverse generation that we live in. Sure. Why not?
JCAD says, FDS, people lived into their 20s or 30s in 1491. Let's see. And they're saying, but it looks like you've made it past that in age thanks to science. So I think they're saying, hey, why do you have such a hard thing with science when scientific advancement has helped people to live much longer, including yourself?
Yeah, I don't believe that for 1 minute, bro. Look, every day you hear of a new crisis, a new problem, the Ebola, mosquitoes, bees. Oh, dude, come on, bro. All the problems that kids have nowadays, Down syndrome, diabetes, all this stuff they keep coming up with new medicines, and this improves it, and stuff just keeps coming worse and worse. Have you looked at the sky lately, bro? Have you looked at these kids? These gangbangers don't even do drive-bys anymore. They're walking around with oxygen inhibitors on their phone. It's a sad state we live in, bro. Open your eyes. I'm just saying, though.
And OXD says, you say that Satan is trying to trick people and twist the Bible's words. How do you know that you're not the one Satan tricked and made you think the earth is flat?
If I'm wrong, may y'all strike me dead right now.
Gotcha. And Imran, well, but to be fair, I mean, I think it is like they're trying to get at an epistemic issue of like how, like if you were deceived, how could you know that you were deceived? Because if you're deceived, you can't know that you were the one that was duped. And so I think they're asking, like, how do you know that you're not the one who was duped by Satan?
Okay, like I said, if I am, may Yah strike me dead right now. If I am, may I walk in the middle of the street and get hit by a car. You know, I don't know how I'm not the one, but my God-given senses tell me we live on a flat, non-moving surface. And when people speak, there's a vibration that comes out of their voice. So if you have an honest and open heart, truth will resonate differently with your ears. It goes in your heart than a lie will. I'm just saying, though, don't take my word for it. Try it out.
Imran Khan says, I might have missed it, but how does a flat earther explain different places having daylight and nighttime? It's not plausible under a flat earth model.
Sure it is. Just draw a circle on your floor, turn out all the lights, get a small flashlight beam. You can circle around that circle. Download the Flat Earth app, dude. It'll take you 2 seconds. Y'all got a smartphone? Or are y'all using a landline rotary phone like Richard Nixon did in '69 to talk to Neil Armstrong? I'm just saying, no. Next question.
Gotcha. So are you saying that the sun works apparently, so the sun would be moving around the earth and it also works as kind of a spotlight, so it has a kind of a narrow beam that hits the earth as it travels around the earth?
I think the argument's more like it's small.
Y'all ever seen that signal before?
It's an
old flat earth signal. I'm just saying, though. So a beam of light, the sun, as it travels around, it's only going to have that beam of light, you know, a certain amount of light around the giant surface of the earth. This flat, beautiful terra firma that we live on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think he's saying the sun is really small and it just goes above a part of the earth at a time.
The sun's the same size as the moon. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's crazy, huh? It looks the same, but, you know, NASA says it's not, so...
Yeah, for some reason, the moon can pass in front of the sun and cover it. For some reason.
Our eyes are just tricking us, right? The moon can completely cover the sun during lunar or solar eclipse, whatever. We've been heliocentric by the best of them. They got $1 billion budget, bro. But my mind is a $2 mind, and it can overthink the Luciferian doctrine that we've been all told. Let the scales fall off your eyes or stop taking the checks. One of the two.
Yeah, Tom. And then Imran Khan says... Yeah. I might have missed it, but how does a flat earther explain different places? Oh, sorry, I just read that. Sigma NE says, for FDS, please tell me what I've been doing wrong for the last 25 years as a land surveyor, detecting curvature with measurements I make myself, non-GPS related.
So do you just take the measurements and then factor in the curvature afterward with the theodolite? Come on, what's your spherical geometry? You guys are all deceived. I mean, I know airplane pilots that swore they were flying over a curving, spinning sphere without ever dipping their nose down. Bro, horizon means horizontal. Water does not bend. All you need to do is either take the scales off your eyes or stop getting the checks, one way or the other, bro. I don't know how you guys can't see it. It took me 5 minutes once I was flat smashed with the truth to understand that we've all been duped. Just saying, though.
This next one from Magellan says... Oh, we got that one. And then Tim Pryor says, going to pull another flat earther. Atmosphere means sphere. Just saying, bro.
Oh, Bard.
Yeah. Atmosphere. Here's the flat plane we live on. Dome over us. Yeah. Sphere. Gotcha. Like I said, your own words will prove my point. I ain't even got to say it, though. I'm just saying, though.
What does the sphere mean?
What was that, T?
What does the word sphere mean? What is the definition of the word sphere?
I'm showing you. Atmosphere. That's a heliocentric word, by the way. But they put a lot of truth in the words, like horizon, airplane, level, sea level. You guys can say, oh, sea level means curved. Airplane doesn't necessarily fly such and such above sea level. Well, it does, but it's curved. We're too small to see the curve. The indoctrination is deep. It makes me want to pull my hair out, bro. But yet, still here I remain.
So that's a half sphere, the thing you drew. That's not a sphere.
Next up, we are going to go to this question from Our dearest friend Bubblegum Gun says, how can we be real when our eyes aren't even real?
I'm just going to quote Elon Musk. You know it's real because it looks so fake.
Next up, I don't understand that question, but we do understand
Ask
this
Elon,
one.
he knows.
This one from the Crawdaddy Zero. No, I was saying the question that you were asked. I honestly was like, I don't know what they mean when they say your eyes aren't real. But the Crawdaddy.
That's what I mean. Ask Elon. He probably knows the answer to that question.
We'll ask your friend Elon later. But the Crawdaddy 029 says, when FDS said the bottom of the globe reads for decoration purposes only, he reminded me of Zoolander saying that what are we building a school for ants? Thank you very much. Are you a Zoolander fan, FlatterDay?
I don't watch movies. The only time I ever watch even parts of movies is when I'm picking apart hidden messages that they place in movies. But yeah, I haven't owned a TV in over 5 years. I refuse to watch Netflix. I go to my mom's house if she's watching Netflix. I make sure I shut that stuff down real quick. I advise all my friends and family, do not watch TV for any entertainment purposes, only for educational purposes. And me personally, beyond education, I do it to pick apart the little Luciferian codes. I'm into gematria and I break apart their numbers real well.
Gotcha. And Tim Pryor says, not trying to trip you up, bro. Just telling you what I've seen with my own eyes, bro. Get a telescope and you could do it yourself, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
You called me bridge 3 times. Cool. So are we just bridging the gap bridge?
Gotcha.
I'm just saying, though.
Is that another term for bro?
Yeah, bridge means bro in some other language. But I bless the rains down in Africa. It's going to take 100 Globers or more to hold me back.
You got it. And we want to say thank you to our guests. I think I might have one more standard question over here. Let me see if Joyce, are you serious? Thanks for your question. Said, isn't the Bible... But I think they're trying to object against the Bible more broadly, FlatterDay Saint. They're saying, if you use the Bible as evidence for a flat earth, isn't the Bible wrong when it says that the Bible says that none of the stars go missing? They don't cite a verse, but they say that. And then they say, we know that stars do cease to exist, though. And then they ask Flat Earth, why trust the book on a flat surface then?
So stars cease to exist, right? The 88 constellations all of a sudden aren't there. Sounds like you've been getting your intel from Michelle Fowler, who says astrophysicists are time travelers. There's no way that they couldn't be. I mean, there's the things you guys, the mental gymnastics that you guys jump through and the hoops you guys jump through, there's no end in sight. This is hilarious. You guys give me nonstop material for my channel, and you guys make my brain literally roll and laugh in circles on the ground. You guys are so hilarious.
Magellan says, TJump, compliments to your super chair. Hope it's soft. And thank you very much for Imran Khan's question. Says, I'll be a flat earther for $4 million. All right. And Tim Pryor says, thank you. He says, the old people in Australia, or upside down flame, do me a favor, point down, then point south. Is it the same direction? No. South is not down. Up as not north. Normally I would have asked.
Means good, level means curve, black means white. You're right. South isn't down. If you were on the middle of a pizza and you wanted to point south, you just point in a circular direction around the crust. Everything goes in circles with you guys, but there's still no revolutions. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting. And JC93013 says, FDS, what is the biggest hidden message you have seen in movies?
Biggest hidden message I saw in a movie? Okay, y'all seen iPad Goat 2? So I cracked that the other day. When the apple rolls on the floor, there's a V and a C painted on the ground in black and white. V is the 22nd letter of the alphabet. C is the 3rd letter of the alphabet. 322 is the dome in the pyramid turned sideways. I'm just saying, though, peep my channel. Within a week, I'm going to do a whole breakdown of the 322 iPad Go. Be
Gotcha.
there or be square or spherical in your guys' case. I'm just saying, though.
Jumping back to the old flat earth, they say, sorry. Tim Pryor says, sorry, that's not supposed to be claim. Oh, gosh, sorry, that was my mistake. They said, sorry, that's supposed to be claim, not flame. Stupid talk to text. Hope you're not sending in a super chat while driving. But so their original question with that regarding the at first alleged flame. Let's see. My goal is I'm trying to read the super chats prior to actually like speaking them out loud. But once we go into the Q&A, it's really hard to do that because I'm kind of bouncing from question to question. We'll go to the next one. Thank you very much for your question. This one coming in from, bear with me, folks. Charles, do appreciate your question. Asked, how does GPS work? How do our cell phones work without a global positioning system? How can you have global positioning without a globe?
How can you have 99% of all internet and communication come from undersea cables with a satellite? It sounds for its ground positioning system, dude. Come on. This is old stuff. Watch old Disney clips from the 40s, bro. They even break it down. You know,
internet and phone, not the same thing.
Oh, it's not? Internet and phones aren't the same thing, huh?
Yes.
Gotcha. And Sybil,
hey,
we haven't
TJump
heard from
and
you for a
McToon
while.
aren't the same thing, but you guys are both bad apples from the same evil tree. I'm just saying, though.
Gotcha. Sybil, we haven't heard from you for a while. Are you still there?
Still here.
Okay, gotcha. If you want to jump in at any moment, feel free to. And another question just came in from JCAD said, why do you see a different star looking up in Australia than when you do in Greenland? If Earth is flat, everyone would see the same stars.
Yeah, but they see them from different perspectives. So check this out. Right? This person's looking at the stars. Let's say the stars are a happy face, and they're seeing the eyes towards them. This person on the other side of the earth is seeing the smile towards them. Different perspectives, dude. It's super simple. I don't know why this is hard. Either you guys, the scales haven't fallen off your eyes yet, or you're trying to trip me up, but you're not going to trip me up on little questions like this, even on big questions.
Gotcha. And want to remind you folks that our guests are linked in the description. We really do appreciate our guests, so we remind you to be your regular friendly selves in terms of insulting the arguments rather than the people, or more critiquing the arguments. But want to say we really do appreciate you hanging out with us here, folks. We have a lot of upcoming juicy debates that we want to let you know about that you don't want to miss. For example, at the bottom right of your screen, next week, a debate on whether or not there is evidence for Bigfoot. You don't want to miss it, so hit that subscribe button, as we are really excited for that. And I'll be back to tell you about more upcoming debates with our post-credit scene in just a moment. But first, I want to say thank you so much to our guests, TJump, Sybil, and FlatterDay Saint, as well as Jackie May, who had to leave early. Thank you all for being with us. It's been a true pleasure.
Thank you. I'm honored to be on your show.
Thank you, all four of you. And so with that, we'll be right back. Keep sifting out the reasonable from the unreasonable. And I'll be back in a moment letting you know we have one last question. Tim Pryor just fired it in, said, you know words have more than one definition, right? Try looking up all the definitions of level. Oh, the one I gave you is the scientific definition, FlatterDay.
Stairway to Heaven. You know that sometimes words have two meanings. Well, according to McToon, level means curve. So, I mean, you guys got me. You guys got me. I'm not a flat earther anymore. I renounce my religion. I'm a glober now. Not.
Gotcha. And I could have sworn we missed Steven Steen's because I knew Steven Steen asked a question. He said, if the earth is flat, why does Google Maps work on my flat phone? Checkmate, globe heads.
Oh, you got me there. You got me there. Google's not a Luciferian organization that totally corrupts the minds of children. Got them all like zombies looking at their phone. You guys go and get your shots. All right. That's all I got to say.
Gotcha.
Put on your oxygen inhibitors and your grounding inhibitors.
We have a similar one.
Eat
Adam,
geo-modified foods.
Then the next, you really didn't like that one. Okay, next up, Adam Albilius' question for Tom. Tom, if the Earth is a globe, please explain to me how come Superman never adjusts his flight for curvature tides go in and out?
He's going in and out. You can't explain that. Yeah. So obviously, Superman just he just doesn't tip his nose down when he's flying. That's clearly the cause here. That's the full explanation.
Gotcha. And so we really do appreciate all of our guests. And so thank you to our guests. I'll be back in just a moment with updates on other juicy upcoming debates in addition to the Bigfoot debate next week. So hang tight, folks. Be back in a moment. Folks, that was a juicy one. Really excited. Oh, I always love it. Thanks for hanging out with us, folks. You guys, it's always fun. We really do. I appreciate you coming by. And so before I tell you about these upcoming debates, I want to say hello. And first, I actually want to start with saying hello to the Twitch chat. Folks, we are really excited. If you didn't know that we are on Twitch, and I just linked it into the live chat on YouTube. So if you want to check out our Twitch, my dear friends, we are on Twitch and we're excited. If you prefer Twitch, well, hey, I just pinned it at the top of the live chat and you should definitely check it out. And so we are really excited about that. And we are also, like I said, going to say hi to you. And I just like getting to hang out and just kind of connect with you guys. It's nice when it's more personal like that. So it's not just like kind of the show where it's like disconnected, but it's nice to actually connect with people. So Blue Magic, glad to see you, as well as Brooke Sparrow and Lilybug RO. Thanks for being here again. And Safarin, thanks for being here. Blue Magic, good to see you. And Arch Zino, thanks for coming by. Tapatzel, good to see you. Move 37, as well as amazing Tillionaire, thanks for coming by again. We're glad you're here. And Danny 3648, glad you are with us. And am I missing anybody? Let's see. He's moving fast. And we are excited, though, folks, about a lot of stuff. I have got to tell you some cool news that I'm pumped about. But Craig ST, thanks for coming by as well in the old Twitch chat. Glad you were here. And so if you have not heard, at Modern Day Debate, we are a neutral platform hosting debates on science, religion, and politics, folks. And our goal is that everybody would get their fair shot at making their case on a level playing field. And so we are shooting to provide that every single week, as we have several debates a week that are always live streamed. So we like to just do it live, so people are, it's like, you're on air right now, like people are watching you as we're doing this debate. So that makes it fun. And also, folks, glad to say hi to you in the YouTube live chat as well. Pardon my delay. And oh, sorry, Tim Pryor, I'm sorry I missed your question before we went off air, but I saw your super chat. You said, I downloaded the Flat Earth app. Not accurate whatsoever. People have even made videos showing this next question. So we'll have to bring that up to FlatterDay Saint if we have him on again. And I'm sure that would be an interesting one. And so we do appreciate your support, everybody. Thanks for And folks, we want you to know, like, even if you never do a super chat, even if you're never part of our Patreon, if you're just here hanging out, we really appreciate it. For real. The more the merrier. It makes it fun in a couple of ways. One, the more the merrier. It just makes it more lively and fun when we've got different people, but also it makes it kind of it helps this channel remain, you could say, a melting pot of different people and ideas. And that's what we're going for. We really do want everybody to feel welcome. So whether you are flat earth, globe earth, Christian, atheist, Democrat, Republican, you name it, we really do hope you feel welcome. And folks, I want to remind you, we have things in common. Even if you are from totally different views, one thing I find that we all agree on is that we all want people to have a fair shot at making their case on a level playing field, and that is our vision and our goal that we, without a shadow of a doubt, folks, are going to fulfill at Modern Day Debate as we continue to have epic debates. And so, anyway, glad to say hi to you, though. And so, Fish Frog Dolphin, good to see you. And Adam Elbilia, good to see you as well. Dave Langer, thanks coming by. Oh, I was going to mention two things. Oh, I remember what I was going to mention. I'm going to remind me about the Facebook thing. We are at Modern Day Debate. I'm really excited, folks, that I'm going to put it into the chat right now. Facebook.com/Modern Day Debate. Our Modern Day Debate Facebook page right now it's at 970 likes, which is super encouraging. I would highly recommend, folks, our Facebook. If we can get to 1,000 likes, that I just threw it in the old chat there, and I'll put it in the Twitch chat as well. If we can get to 1,000 likes, that's our goal, and that's something that I'm excited about, kind of reaching that threshold in Facebook, as we are just pumped because, frankly, for the longest time, I didn't think anybody really used the Facebook, and I was like, should we even have a Modern Day Debate Facebook page? But long story short, I'm just super excited that it's growing. And so, it's a way, folks, whether you be on Facebook or Twitter, we have those social media to announce debates, and that way it kind of keeps you informed. If you're like, oh, maybe it comes out in the morning where we're like, hey, tonight we're going to host a debate on X, Y, and Z, and then you can kind of be like, yeah, like I think I'll tune in for that, or like, nah, that topic isn't for me, maybe next time. So we are pumped to see you. Advanced Lamb, thanks for coming by. And let's see. Apricot Sloth, thanks for coming by, as well as we're glad you're here. Mind Onion, pumped you made it. And Sunny DeVille, thanks for coming by. And Steve Coate, thanks for coming by as well. And thanks Kilgore Trout for your support of the channel. Says like button with an elbow off of the top rope. I couldn't agree more. Please do hit that like button if you enjoyed this debate, if it was entertaining, if it was fun, if maybe you at some point thought, hey, I never heard of that idea before. That's pretty interesting. Please do help support the channel that way. We do appreciate it. Doubting Thomas, good to see you again. Says, I hope Jackie gets better. We do too. I hope she's okay. I think so long story short, we hope she's okay. She had to leave early. And Hannah Anderson, glad to see you again, and thanks for your support. Nero, good to see you. Coffee Troll, good to see you. Square Circle, happy you're here. I'm so glad you enjoyed tonight's topic. Steve Coate, happy you're here. And Urshman, glad you're here. Soldier of Science, let me know for real. If you want to do that debate on Bigfoot, let me know. You can email me at moderndaydebate@gmail.com. And then, hey, we might be able to get you in on that. That could be really fun. Yeah, especially if you happen to be a female. We are really looking for female debaters. Nothing against bros. I'm a bro. But we have so many bros on for debates, and that's all right. But nonetheless, we want to be sure that women know you're absolutely welcome to debate here. And so right above me, so you're seeing like right above, that's not Sybil. That's a picture of Sybil, just so you know. She's not just standing really still. So she is gone, but we do appreciate Sybil and want to remind you at this point, our guests are linked in the description, folks. So we are excited about that. Steve Coate, thanks for your kind words. I appreciate that encouragement. Brooke Chavez says, can we make it to 200 likes? Let's go for it. Where are we at right now? 138. So let's go for a mini goal, baby steps. Can we get to 150? I'm excited, and I think we can, especially as we have 237 people watching right now. I totally think we can get to 150 at the very least. And so thanks for your support, fam. Platium says, hey, me and Let's Farm are working on overhauling the Discord server. In a week or two, I would love if you could have a look at a couple texts to see if it represents the channel correctly. Think of an abstract about MDD section, FAQ, how to contact you, and the other links to the show. Thanks for that's a great idea, Platium, and thank you for doing the work you do. Seriously, I really do appreciate it. And so, thank you. I'm happy to check it out and connect on that. And then also, Dave Langer, thank you, said you should also do Instagram to announce debates. We might move on to Instagram. I've thought about it. And so, yes, we are pumped about the future, though. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. Want to let you know about some of the upcoming debates. And Mind Onion, good to see you as well. Thanks for coming by. Trying to see if is there anybody that I missed. Will Stewart, good to see you. King Crew, thanks for all your support of the channel. Seriously, it means a lot. And I got to let you know, folks, just by hanging out here, just by watching debates here, like, you've helped the channel already, because it really does. Like, it does help in more than one way. One is that we already said the more the merrier, and we like having a diverse community. But also, whether you like, maybe you don't like it, maybe if you're hate watching, because I mean, we've got a small percent of hate watchers out there, and we love them. We always welcome them. But want to let you know that even if you're hate watching, that actually does help the YouTube algorithm, because YouTube like sees like, oh, look, this person is watching this debate. We'll recommend it to other people that are watching or that have similar interests as, you know, Ralph or whoever it is that's watching the debate. So you really are, just by being here, it does help the channel. We appreciate you. And so, well, let's see. My Onion says, hi, James. Thanks for that. Hello. I appreciate it. Germ says, here's another vote for an Instagram. Thanks for that. I'll think about it for real. I'm open to it. I've got a personal Instagram. That's probably what I would convert into the Modern Day Debate one, because I don't really use mine. And I'm just kind of like, I don't know. It's also got a small like following already. Sometimes like people from Modern Day Debate have found it, and I think that's where a good amount have come from already. So maybe we will just kind of convert it. I'll see if I can do that. Can you change your name on Instagram? I don't know. But Tim Pryor, thanks for your super chat, said, good, you agree South is not down. So why would you think people in Australia would be upside down? Oh, I wonder if, thanks for your super chat, Tim. It might be that Tim is watching the debate. Like maybe he like pulled the little timer back so that he's maybe right now watching an earlier part of the debate, and maybe that's why he's sending in a super chat now. So sorry, Tim, if you didn't realize that that's the case, because our guests are gone. That's not Sybil up there. That's just a picture of her. But by the way, does anybody know what like who uses that joke? And Will Stewart says, can I suggest new lighting setup? Your forehead is blown out, and a hair light would separate you from the curtain. I am totally open to that. Said email me for a simple one. Actually, I might actually go over tonight. Tonight, basically, I'm really like super encouraged. A super supportive viewer of Modern Day Debate reached out to me, and he was like, hey, can I like buy you a lamp for like watching, or for like what's the word I'm looking for? Can I buy you a lamp for streaming? And I was like, yeah, like, thank you. That's awesome. So it should be in the mail any day now. I've got to go check and see if it's already come. So I'm really excited about that, though. So we will very soon, we'll actually have good lighting on the stream. So you're right. I am all washed out. So now I know what that means. Is that what you mean by washed out? Because you can't see like any of the detail of my face, for example. Like I've got this like white light forehead. You can't see like any of the lines in my forehead. That is maybe what Cam meant when he told me I look all washed out. But anyway, Kilgore Trout, good to see you. Abdullah Ibn Iblis, we're glad you're with us. They said, yes, you can, James. Thank you. I don't know what you're referring to, but I appreciate your support. And thanks for your, oh no, Tim Pryor, man, I don't know if you knew that the stream is, you must be, I think you're watching it like earlier in the debate, because I just saw another super chat from you. Said, then why are the GPS antennas on top of planes if it's underground cables? So yeah, I think that must have been a question for FlatterDay. So Sorry, FlatterDay's gone. But Platinum says enlightened brain. Thank you. And Will Stewart says, yep, that's it. Yeah, it's a ring light. I'm getting a ring light. I guess makeup. YouTubers who advertise makeup and stuff like that, they'll like put on their makeup in front of their light. And I guess they use this type of light. So I'm really excited about that. It's going to be awesome. And I've been watching Nathan For You lately so much. Stramster, good to see you, says, Kent Hovind, that's not my wife. That's just a picture of her. Okay. All right. Yes, that is. Good one. Stramster, you got it. I love it. You recognize what that phrase is from. So that's not a picture of Sybil. That's just a picture of her. Okay. All right. All right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Dinosaur Adventureland. Okay. So, but all right. Okay. Brooke, thanks for your huge support. Seriously, that does mean a lot. Brooke said almost to 150 likes. That is epic. So thank you guys for all of your support, for all of your likes and everything else. And so, yeah, we are pumped about the future. I'm going to tell you about some of the upcoming debates. As I mentioned, the Tuesday Bigfoot debate. JC93013 says, Aaron Ra versus Natalie Thompson rematch? Maybe? That's very funny. I don't know if that's going to happen. I can try. No joke. I actually will try. At some point, I think I will probably ask them if they want to do it, but I don't count on it being anytime soon. J Mike says, ask them how equatorial mounts work in flat plains for me. Thanks for your question, J Mike. Although I'm guessing you might be watching earlier in the debate. Grow Your Own says, thanks for your channel, James. One of my favorite channels to listen to. Thanks for your kind words. Seriously, that means more than you know. It really does. I do appreciate it. And yeah, you guys, I got to let you know, we are really excited. Upcoming debates, let me tell you about some of these. So, Bigfoot, next Tuesday. Tag team debate, kind of like tonight's. Also, though, you guys were pumped. We are not just going to have Bigfoot. We are also going to have a socialism versus capitalism one on Wednesday. Thanks for your kind words about... Oh, I'm like laughing as you guys are saying... Gay Nomadic says, nice impression. Nero's laughing. And then Stramster says, laughing my butt off. Great impression. And then Fish Frog Dolphin says, wow, your Hovind impression is spot on. All right. Okay. Well, thanks, everybody. Okay. So that's not my wife. That's a picture of her. Okay. J Mike thinks he says, I'll rewind. Okay. Gotcha, J Mike. But yeah, I do have a lot of excitement about the future and upcoming debates. Now, our first week of May will be a little bit quieter, but I've got to tell you guys, it's about to drop. News is about to drop of our mega event for June, and it's going to be mega all right. Like, we really are excited about this. And so I am pumped as, believe me, you're going to be excited when you hear about this debate. So it's going to be a great topic. It's going to be a great pair of two debaters, very bright guys. They happen to be guys. I'll give you that much. We haven't confirmed it yet, so I'm trying to be like a little bit like hush hush because I don't want people to go up to them and be like, oh, hey, I heard you're going to do this debate. And they're like, we haven't confirmed that yet. And they're like, why is James saying that? So I can't tell you the deets yet. But Brooke Chavez, good to see you. So glad you liked that impression. And Reservoir of Gore says, hi, James, do you think having FDS on your debates is more for show than substance? That's an interesting question. You know, for me, I have to remain neutral, so I can't talk about like whether or not I think that someone is giving substantive arguments. I don't want to say that like publicly on air while we're streaming right now. So I don't know. It's like for me to be a neutral channel, it's like I don't really want to take a stance in the sense of saying somebody doesn't have substance. So Big Screen Bird says, what about a gun control debate? I'd be down for that. We might actually have that. So please do stay tuned. We're excited about that possibility. J Mike says, much love, James. Grateful for everything you do. Thank you for your kind words, J Mike. Seriously, I do appreciate your positivity. That means a lot. And so Gay Nomadic said, Matt Delundy versus Kent Hovind. No. By the way, I've asked like a year ago, I asked Kent Hovind, or I asked Matt, and Matt's like, I'm really not interested. So I don't think that's going to happen. But yes, thank you guys for your likes. 150 likes. That's encouraging. So thank you all for your support. Mark Reed says, I agree with Big Screen. A gun control debate would be good. Yeah, no joke. I've got a pair who I'm like ready to set them up. It depends on whether or not, long story short. So there are like all these, like, it's almost like a decision tree, or like almost like a little logic tree is, if Destiny says no to my next request regarding the topic that I'm going to ask him, then you'll get the If he says yes, it'll take a little bit longer for the gun control debate, and it'll be probably in late May. If he says no, then it'd probably be a little bit earlier, so probably like early May. So that's like the short answer. But yeah, so I am working on it. And Mark Reed says, I agree with Big Screen Bird. That topic would be great. I'm so glad to hear that. That it would be a fun topic, and we've only done it sparingly, so I think it would be a good one. Platium. I can tell you this. The Platium, thanks for asking. The topic for the big Kickstarter event. So I don't know if you guys know this. Do you guys remember? Let me know if anybody remembers it, because a lot of you are probably new. You may be subscribed in the last couple of months. But our like last time we had that Kickstarter event, and so we plan on doing that again. And this one we're probably going to have it be a public event though. So, but yeah, basically it would be whether or not there's good evidence for God. So that will be cool. Kilgore Trout says, I first came to this channel because of MD, so I hope you will be back. Hey, you might be pleasantly surprised. No promises yet, but I'm telling you, I'm optimistic. Big Screen Bird says, well, put my name in the chat for that one, please. My name in the hat. Gotcha, Big Screen Bird. Thanks for letting me know that. If you shoot me an email at moderndaydebate@gmail.com, that helps me just to know in terms of remembering that you'd want that. Catherine Massot, am I pronouncing it right? Thanks for coming by. We're really glad that you were here, Catherine. So thanks for hanging out with us. First time, is this the first time I've seen you in the live chat before? Well, in either case, we're glad you're here. And so let me jump back over to the old Twitch chat. Sorry, Twitch. I know I'm like slow to respond sometimes, but I am also thankful for you guys hanging out here. Blue Magic says, any chance on getting William and Craig on the show for God debates? I wish. I don't know. I think it's tough to get them to do God debates now. Frankly, I'm not trying to be, I don't want to even speculate. All I know is that William Lane Craig doesn't do nearly as many debates as he used to. And so that is why I've reached out more than once and haven't gotten a yes. Rad Goat, thanks for being with us. I see you there in the old Twitch chat. Cool Olds, thank you for being with us as well in the old Twitch chat. We appreciate you hanging out here. And Scotty C3845, thanks for coming by. Appreciate you hanging out with us at the old Twitch chat. And let's see here. Tapazzo, good to see you. Those emotes, I love them, absolutely. Seriously, they rock. And so feel free to say hi, by the way, if you're in the Twitch chat. Like I like getting to say hello to you and share with you between sharing what upcoming debates there are. Blue Magic says, Modern Day Debate and I agree with the other chat. Gun control debate would be amazing. That would be epic, seriously. I'm open to it. And I'm actually, like, no joke, it's like in the making. So Big Screen Bird said, let's see, Brooke Chavez says, have you watched Letterkenny? I've never watched it. I don't know what that is. Sigma Annie says, thanks, James. Sorry for yet another round of trollish super chats. You are the master. That's funny. You do have a lot of trollish super chats. Yeah. And Mark Reed said, yeah, that's true, James. I think he may have semi-retired. Yeah, I kind of think he did, unofficially. I think that he might come back for special things, but I don't know. I think he's more open to like conversations, the old formal debate. I don't know if he's up for that kind of structure anymore. But Mind Onion said you should set up competition between YouTube chat and Twitch chat, make some kind of scoring system, maybe related to super chat questions. That's an interesting idea. And we are trying to figure out, like, oh, someone asked, Tapatzel, maybe you can help us. Someone asked, is there like an equivalent to, in Twitch, is there some sort of equivalent to like doing a super chat? I think Brooke, this morning we had a Patreon meeting and Brooke said there's something called tipping. I don't know how it works. I'm totally new to Twitch, so I haven't tried to set anything like that up. But I don't know. I've got to talk to Tapatzel about that. So Platium says, I love more philosophical debates too. That would be fun. I am open to that. And I actually, like, am, you could say, leaning toward that. So I'm cool with that idea. Tapatzel says, yes, it's Streamlabs. Oh, that's how people are tipping through Twitch. Okay. Blue Magic says, this is a debate channel, but there isn't a current debate. Bad means good and black means white now. Just saying, though. That's funny. Blue Magic says, and I agree with the other. Oh, gotcha. Thanks for that. And let's see. We would love to have Dr. Richard Wolf on again. We really enjoyed getting to host him and Dr. Friedman. That was like one of our most epic debates. So that would be cool. I saw that being discussed in the old Twitch chat. And so, yeah, thank you for hanging out with us, though, in the Twitch chat. I'm so excited that it's been useful. Like, people are, because when I started, and I'm still learning about Twitch, so I'm kind of like, cool. Like, I'm glad that it's like people enjoy watching from Twitch. That's cool. And Sigma Henny, let's see. Big Screen Bird said I just sent an email. But yeah, Gregory, thanks for coming by. I see you there in the old YouTube chat as well. Sunday Star Warship says, has there ever been a debate about reparations on modern day debate? I know it has come up in debates, but don't remember if it has ever the topic. We haven't yet, though I'm open to it. That'd be cool. Will Stewart says, there are lots of software options to combine all chat into one place. I didn't know that. That would actually be cool. I'm open to that. That'd be neat. Mark Reed says, I think James is CGI. No one is really that. That's funny. You're funny, Mark. But yeah, we are excited about the future, you guys. I can't emphasize that enough. Next month, the first week of May, I got to let you know, it'll be a little bit more quiet. So I think we'll only have like one debate in that first week of May. I got to open this up. I'm opening the calendar right now. And then we'll see. I can let you know what to expect in terms of upcoming debates. So sharing with you the upcoming debates in May. Wow. Okay, so Friday the 30th, we're supposed to get Wotan and McToon, or that's right, MC Toon. So that should be a fun one. Wotan returns on Friday, April 30th. Then on Saturday, May 1st, this will be fun. Reasons to Doubt and RJ are taking on Otangelo and his friend, I think it's Jeff Williams, on whether or not Noah's Ark has already been found. So that should be a juicy one. Then, ooh, this is a cool one. May 4th, my sister's birthday, by the way. John Loftus and Randall Rouser are set to debate biblical violence. So that should be a juicy and fun one. First time we'll have John Loftus on. That'll be exciting. I've seen a lot of John Loftus debates since probably the first one I had seen was back in like 2000 and, it was probably even before 2014. I would say probably back in as early as 2010 maybe. He, by the way, yeah, like, so we're pumped about that. Now we might have TJump versus Destiny on Friday, May 7th. That depends on if Destiny says yes. So that was the one that I was referring to. If Destiny says yes, so that's not confirmed. So just so you know, want to let you know that it's like, oh, we hope to have that, but we're not sure. So we are excited though about the future and want to say thank you everybody for all of your support. And right now we're at 45,599 subscribers. So if you want to, it's like watching the odometer like right before it turns. So really exciting that we're close to 45,600 subscribers, which is encouraging. Thank you so much, folks, just for your support of this channel. You guys make it fun, for real. You make it fun. You guys make it where it's just a blast to be here. And thanks for making it fun in the live chat as well. And it's lively. And so we do appreciate you more than you know. And so thank you, everybody, for that. And with that, amazing. Thank you guys for all of your support. And it is a true pleasure, you guys. It's seriously, it's a blast. Sideshow Nav, good to see you, says, thanks for yet another entertaining Saturday night debate. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And Palladium says, I'm going to add chat relays from Twitch and YouTube to Discord as well. Oh, cool. I got to learn about what that means, but thank you for letting me know that. And Will, yeah, I'll look up that idea of how to combine chat. It says, StreamYard allows you to stream on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook at the same time. Combines the chat, and you can still use OBS as the main cam source for the stream. Oh, I didn't know that. Huh. I'll have to look into that. Do you know if... Okay, that's cool. Wait a minute. You said StreamYard. Okay, StreamYard, not Stream Labs. So thank you so much for all of your support, folks. We really do appreciate it. It is exciting, and we are pumped about the future. I want to let you have a great rest of your night. And we will be back. I think it's scheduled for Tuesday for that epic Bigfoot debate. And so we love you guys. We appreciate you. Thank you for everything. And we are excited about where the channel is going. So thanks, everybody. Keep sifting out the reasonable from the unreasonable.